This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. In breaking news, leading scientists worldwide are conducting experiments to determine if Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate. However, it appears the study was inconclusive, as the scientists couldn't help but eat all the Reese's. Because when you want something sweet, you can't do better than Reese's. Find Reese's now at a store near you.
Welcome to the Norm Hyperbolic Podcast. We're here to talk anime, video games, and movies. I am your host, X, in this episode known as Professor Young Mahogany Freeman. And with me, as always, is my co-host, Kid Lewis.
What up, what up, what up? This is your boy, Kid Lewis. But let's take a quick pause. What was that change up, man?
We're doing a Pokemon episode. So,
okay.
Professor,
so you're going Professor
Young Mahogany Freeman.
Okay. A whole new episode. Welcome back to the podcast. This is your boy, Lewis. And of course, today we're doing an episode about Pokemon, and what better to have a guest on this episode. So I want everybody to give a warm applause to our guest, AlexisTheSnail.
Snail.
Hi. Thank you for having me on, boys.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being our Pokemon expert. Are you Professor Snail right now, or Professor AlexisTheSnail?
I do feel a little bit of like a Professor Snail.
Okay.
I don't have a fancy tree to go by, so I'm just the snail that's on the tree.
Perfect. You're a fledgling professor.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
I am excited though because I used to play Pokemon professionally. Actually, I used to go to tournaments and competitions.
Really?
Oh,
for
wow.
Pokemon the video game?
I used to do it during the Diamond and Pearl era for the DS competitions.
Yeah.
As well as I would do TCG a lot. I'm still really into TCG.
Me too, actually. Wow, I have a couple decks too. Wow, damn, I didn't know that.
I know. I kept it hidden this whole time. I was like, oh, they got me on for Pokemon. I'll let them know.
Well, so I did check out your stream and everything to see while I was like writing the episode. Wow, damn. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
so, like we said, in this episode, we're going to be talking about Pokemon. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave us a like. If you're listening to this on your podcast platform of choice, leave us a 5-star review with a compliment sandwich. We're actually going to be reading some reviews at the end of the episode, so make sure to get your reviews in so we can read them out on future episodes. In this episode, we're also going to be talking about One Piece has a new anime that's coming out, a Capcom survey that I want to read to you guys, and I want to show you a commercial for this Ghibli park, this Studio Ghibli amusement park that we've talked about in a different episode, but it's just like getting bigger and bigger, and I kind of want to track it. Let's go ahead and get into it, man, with last week's news today.
Let us know, X, what's current.
All right, so first, in the realm of anime. So Netflix and WIT Studios are partnering to make their very own One Piece anime.
That's hot.
So One Piece is finally getting an anime, bro.
Spicy. Love it.
Are you a Straw Hat or?
I don't think I can say I'm a Straw Hat yet. Mm-hmm. My One Piece knowledge comes strictly from One Piece Odyssey, the video game.
Okay. Wow. The new video game.
So, okay. Cause here's the tea. So it's like One Piece has always been like really long, of course.
Right.
And it's like for me growing up, One Piece was never like, when it was on 4Kids, it was just not the tea. I don't know if y'all remember the 4Kids dub of
I do
One
remember.
Piece.
Yes.
Girl, the way that Sanji was like, oh, Nami. Girl, not me. Could not be me watching that.
Well, you didn't like the rap? That was on 4Kids. That was a 4Kids original.
That was fire. That went bananas. If that came out to this day, coming out One Piece, singing about Luffy, come on, turn up.
Zoro, he's like a samurai. The Lady Nami's not shy.
He wasn't even called Zoro. He was called Zolo.
Zolo in the rap?
Yeah, in the anime.
Really?
Period.
Zolo. No, I like Zoro better.
No, you can look it up. All the games that came out like PS2 and prior for One Piece, Zoro is called Zolo. There was like a copyright issue when 4Kids got the right to One Piece. So they not only had to change up a lot of the things that were viewed as being too adult, like how Sanji had a cigarette and had to be changed into a lollipop.
Yeah.
They changed Zoro's name into Zolo. And it's even in the video games that were westernized, which is super wild.
Is it because of the movie Sorrow?
I honestly have no idea.
Maybe it could be mistranslation or whatever it is. But so like you said,
no mistranslation in that. Like, no, go from Sorrow to Solo.
I mean, somebody read it wrong, you know? It's like a game of telephone. What's the samurai's name? Zolo? Okay, yeah, whatever. So
I mean, that could be a thing.
So with Studios coming out with it again, so they're they're doing it again, it's still going to be going on as it has been with Toei Animation. With Studios, they made the first
season of Attack on Titan.
The first 3 seasons.
Oh yeah,
the first 3 seasons of Attack on Titan. They did the first season of Vinland Saga. They did this anime called Ranking of Kings, which my friends love it.
Love that anime.
We talked about how it's one of the free animes that's showing on the Crunchyroll streaming site.
Oh really?
That they have, like on LG or like if you have a Roku TV, they have their own channel, and that's one of them. So it looked kind of weird, but my friends love it. Snail loves it apparently, and it's the way they talk about it is very, very fun. And they also do Spy X Family, which they co-animate with Cloverworks, and then so Cloverworks just does like Fairy Tale, Dotting in the Franxx, and The Promised Neverland.
Promised Neverland was so good, man.
Right. So
first season.
So the Promised Neverland, I think it's in our top 10. It snuck its way in there
for the first season, right? Did you all see season 2?
I haven't seen season 2. But
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
If you want to like feel that joy of being like, oh, this is a fantastic anime.
Yeah.
Just imagine that season 2 never happened. I never spoke about it.
Really? Oh well.
Yeah, just
So Lewis is up on One Piece, and then like you said, you haven't all your knowledge is from the video game.
Kind of.
I'm trying to read it. But a question I wanted to ask you guys is, how do you guys feel about them redoing anime like this? Like One Piece, it's not even like it's done or had an unsatisfying ending like Full Metal. It's still going and it's going strong. So why redo it?
With a different animation house?
Yeah, different studio. They're starting from the Grand Blue or the East Blue.
East Blue?
Yeah, but they're just, and it's going to release exclusively on Netflix. So how do you feel about that? Like,
it depends on me. Like, how's the animation going to look like? Is it going to look better? Are they going to like give it more details? Then I wouldn't mind at all. As long, as long as the story stays the same, right? I mean, are they switching that up too? Are they adding new details to it, or?
I think they're just cutting down on the filler is the main reason why they're redoing it, because like I know like for me personally, One Piece, it's a lot of filler. A lot of shonen is just filler,
right?
Especially ones that started in the late 90s.
I was telling Xavier that there's actually a website for people that want to hop onto One Piece but don't want to watch like every single episode, because some episodes are just fillers. If you can cut that out, even the fight scenes, sometimes they're like so dragged on, like Goku versus Frieza. You know what I mean? How that fight alone was like 20 something episodes dragged on.
Right.
And then some people just cut it short to like, yo, let's just get to the main action and that's it. So there is a website for One Piece that just cuts all that bullshit out so you can watch it and just know what's currently happening so that you can be on top of it.
The thing about One Piece though is that the filler is baked in, like running concurrently with the main story. So sometimes you can skip full episodes, but they have like, the Arlong stuff mixed into the same episode as like the filler.
Which is probably why they want to like redo it to recondense it down.
Yeah.
Because if you think about like the next generation, because like One Piece started coming out when we were kids.
Yeah.
So it's like we grew up
90s.
with it.
Yeah.
But it's like with the newer generation, like obviously there are more people getting into anime, like our generation's having kids. So their kids, like our kids are watching anime. For them to hop in and be like, oh, let's watch One Piece. And then it's like you're 3 weeks in and you're only just now getting to like Crocodile. So it's like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So it might be better for them to be able to condense it down into like an actual watchable format like that. Plus Studio Wit has been doing like really well lately with things.
Yeah.
One thing that a lot of people didn't realize, as I told you guys before we started recording, I love Persona. It's my favorite franchise.
Yeah.
And
I think they're on here.
Yeah. Persona 3 Reload that just came out. They did the anime cutscenes in that game.
Oh, really? For the video game?
Yep.
Wow. Oh man, I just love anime.
I know, girl, budget.
Well, so also, Netflix is trying to do big things with One Piece. So they got the live action, and most of the movies that One Piece has, even though they're non-canon, are on Netflix. It's going to release on Netflix, obviously. There's no real release date. Just the trailer that they have is just saying that they are working on it. And Deadline reported that One Piece Season 2 won't arrive until 2025. I think if they're going to try to synergize with that, they might also wait for this anime, show something at the end of the year for next year. Or, I wanted just to show you guys, this is what it looks like. And then in the trailer, it ends with Luffy saying, I think about 10 men should do, like talking about getting his crew together. So I think they're going to, obviously they're going to go as far as they can, but they already have in mind the whole story for how Luffy gets his crew. Besides, so there's 10 plus Luffy. So the total is 11. You got Roronoa, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, Jinbei, Brook, Frankie, Nico, Tony, and
Tony Choppa.
Tony Choppa and Vivi. Or Vivi.
She is not a she's not Straw Hat.
No?
She is.
She's
but
an honorary
She's an
Straw Hat.
honorary Straw Hat.
So I guess if you take her out, then it is 10, including Luffy. And it's, a mix of men and women.
An animal.
And an animal. And a skeleton man.
And
So-
dead.
Because it's like, if we're going to go off of that, like this is where some of my One Piece knowledge can like kick in.
Yeah.
Because I do know, like, with the most recent arc, Yamato, a lot of people thought Yamato was going to be a Straw Hat, and there was like talks of her joining the crew, but as of right now, she's not a Straw Hat. But she's kind of similar to Vivi in that way, where it's like she's like an honorary Straw Hat, I get.
I was actually thinking about, like, if she did join the Straw Crew, I feel like they would be so overpowered.
Oh, with Yamato?
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
she alone is a very powerful person, with being like half Kaido's daughter and like, but like just the power alone that she has, and then just like the destiny of Odin following her. Like, I feel like she joining crew would be so overpowered. So it's like a balance, you know what I mean? You got to keep that balance. I mean, you already have Luffy and you already have Zoro, two of like the most powerful people in that world. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Next, and then you have Sanji and Usopp, but even having like Jinbei on their team, it like really pushes them to be in like this strong crew that he needs in order to become the Pirate King. But I feel like she could join later on, though. I can see that.
Yeah, maybe like if they, I mean, obviously I don't know how it ends because it's not written yet, but it's like if they were to do like a final battle where like a lot of the people in their past come back, like Yamato would be there.
Yeah.
Should be there
She'd
rocking.
definitely be there. And plus he has like the people that follow him too. Like, they're not part of his crew, but they're like associated with him. So like,
girl Bon Clay.
Yeah.
Girl Mr. 2 Bon Clay. That icon right there.
So there, you
You
know
know a lot about One Piece from this video game.
Oh, have you not played One Piece Odyssey?
No, I wanted to play it for the stream, but to be honest, not that I'm not a fan of those anime games, but I don't like to get them when they first drop because they drop in price like ridiculously quick. So if I was going to do it for the stream, then yeah, we would play it.
Well, the game goes through all like most of the arcs. So it's
Where does
like,
it start? Does it start from the beginning?
No, it starts from Alabasta with Crocodile.
Okay.
I watched One Piece up until Arlong Park. So I already knew about like Nami and all them. Like I got the intro there.
Yeah.
And then the game takes Alabasta, Dressrosa, like it goes through those ones. I got it. The rest of it I just Wikipedia'd. And with the most recent arc, it's just like no one shuts up about it. So
Wano?
like,
Yeah. I mean,
I know all about Wano.
So-
You know what I'm saying?
So Lewis was talking about in a previous episode about how it was kind of going down, but then like that Wano really reignited like all of One Piece. So I don't know. I am looking forward to this One Piece anime that's coming again on Netflix. You know, there are examples of remakes or reboots that put new life. So we have Devilman Crybaby, Full Metal Brotherhood. A lot of people like Brotherhood. There's still like a talk about which one's better between the two, but most people say Brotherhood is better.
Brotherhood is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way much better.
And then what I didn't even know is that Hunter x Hunter got not rebooted but reanimated.
Yeah, the 99 anime was the original one.
I've never seen it from 99.
Oh, it looks
old.
It looks 99.
Yeah, it does. It does. And it has a charm to it. Even same like with One Piece. Like the early stuff in One Piece does kind of look not flat, but it looks like
Hisoka
the
was
90s.
blue. Hisoka had blue hair in the 99. Hisoka the clown?
Yeah.
Yeah, his hair was blue.
Yeah, see, no, I don't like his. He's got a menacing, what is it, magenta, whatever.
Yeah, man. He's got that cute red hair.
Right. All right. So next in the realm of video games. So Capcom.
Yes.
So Nintendo Life reported that gamers can go on the Capcom website and vote in these things called super elections. So Capcom is just offering like 10 questions surrounding like a bunch of different topics, but having to relate to their franchises. So there's a bunch of questions. There's only two really that are even worth talking about, but a question I wanted to ask you guys. So what super move would you choose? Hadouken, Spirit Blade, a double jump, perfect headshot, the slide from Mega Man, or the objection from Ace Attorney?
Objection.
Objection out of all of them?
Absolutely. The power and the menace that they have in that courtroom is undeniable.
So he who holds the objection holds the courtroom?
Oh my God. The way that there's just power in that phrase when you put everything together and you're like, he's wrong. And he points at you and he's like, objection. Yes. Yes, King. That's what I want.
What about you, Lewis?
Hadouken.
The Hadouken?
Yeah. It's so like OG.
Yeah, it's almost like a Kamehameha. It's
Yeah.
a good short Hadouken.
How about you, bro?
I was between those two actually. To me, that's why I put them first and last. I mean, the double jump would be kind of cool. Kind of defy the laws
Do the
of
Mega
physics.
Man slide?
The Mega Man slide now because I feel like I get dirty. Fuck up my jeans.
Better be wearing white pants that day, bro. We do the slide.
For me, it would be between the objection and the Hadouken. But if I had to choose one, I would throw the Hadouken. Just
Is it the fighter in you?
it's the fighter in me. I could take all my energies and my emotions and just fucking put him in a Hadouken. But I do like the absolution of the objection. I think you can like block a Hadouken with an objection. You're like, Hadouken! Objection. Objection. No, actually, no. It'll
like,
fizzle.
Wasn't there one Marvel vs. Capcom where Phoenix Wright was a playable character?
Yeah, I love that game. Yeah, I mean that game is fun. So one of the big ones is they were asking gamers which sequel or which franchise they would like to see turn into a sequel or a spin-off. I'm just gonna kind of rapid fire through these, but I'm asking you guys, and we'll start with you, Snail. All right, so first, Dead Rising. I'm asking you guys, would you like to see a sequel or a spin-off? Mm-hmm. So Dead Rising, how do you feel?
Of the game or like
the game? That's what Capcom is asking. Do you want to see sequels or spin-offs of these games?
I would say no.
No? Why not? Tell me.
It has not impacted my life.
No? You don't want to kill zombies in the mall?
There's so many zombie games out right now. It's like, do we need another one? I mean, Dead Rising wasn't like a game that changed everything about zombies. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just, and it came out with Dead Rising 2 where you can like customize weapons a little bit more. You can like fuse them together. Yeah, fuse like a chainsaw with like a pole and then use to chop people up.
Yeah.
But that's about it. So, like that was...
There's more notable zombie games, I feel like, that could have like a reprisal. Like I know they tried to do this a long time ago with Postal. You guys ever played Postal?
No.
Oh, it was like this like weird zombie game where it's this guy just in like a mall, and it's kind of like a joke game where it's like he's in a mall and he's using like baseball bats and like stupid shit to like fight off the zombies, and it's just one of those like jokey Deadpool kind of humor games.
Yeah, that's Dead Rising. Dead Rising is like that. You can
use a TV.
Postal's a little bit more
goofy,
a little bit more on that Deadpool side. You know what I mean? That kind of risque.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Damn. So zombies in bikinis, things like that.
Period.
So Dead Rising does have 4 sequels, and there's already a sequel confirmed. I do agree. I'm not really a fan of Dead Rising too much. So what about Okami?
I don't think I played that game.
That is one of my favorite games.
One of your favorite games?
Okami is in my top 10. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have platinum that game many times.
So they don't really have any spin-offs. So there's the one on the DS.
Okamiden.
Right.
Yes, it's a sequel.
But then there's just a bunch of ports. Like they just moved it over to the Switch.
That's correct, because with that, Capcom does own Okami as like an IP, but they're not the original ones that made it. The original studio that made Okami was 4 Clover Studios or something like that.
Okay.
And they made Okami, beautiful, stunning game. But then they got bought out by Capcom because the company wasn't making a lot of money. Capcom basically is just like taking Okami, and Okamiden was a good idea and it had a good presence, because essentially Okamiden is about the main character, Amaterasu. It's about her child, and Amaterasu is up in heaven because she's a goddess and blah blah blah. That took like the DS as a console, and it really utilized it because it had like the stylus, and it's a game about like art and painting and stuff. But it didn't really, they didn't advertise it enough. Capcom, I don't think, put a lot of love into it. Like me, I just knew about it from like niche YouTubers that I would watch when I was younger. Okami is like a cult classic to a lot of people.
I love it. Just aesthetically, like you're this dog. It has you're like the Avatar.
Yeah.
You can control the wind, the water.
It's an iconic game.
Yeah.
And Amaterasu as a character has been in things like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
She was present.
She's so cheap. Like she's so small, it's hard to hit her. Like you just punch right over her.
Yeah, it's that game needs more love. I truly think that it doesn't need a revamp because they put it on every console known to man at this point.
Right.
But it does. I know that I've read that they've talked about it.
How was the DS game as a sequel?
It was fine, but it was a DS Okami game. You know what I mean? It's like the DS wasn't powerful to be pumping out like a PlayStation
Lewis
game.
and I don't even think that the Switch is powerful enough to, run most of the games that are on there. Zelda and...
Nah, man. Look up gameplay of Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Okay.
She's chugging.
All right, so then Darkstalkers. So that's just another one of those Capcom fighting games. So they do have a bunch of ports, but no real sequel. So how do you feel about that?
I think that they could bring it back and it could be successful.
Yeah? You think people will like it though? Or because it's not really like super standoutish about it. I don't hear it talked like about, it's because it's a fighting game. So, but I haven't heard it brought up, even like as far as like King of Fighters or just any other big fighting games.
That's the first time I'm hearing about it. Darkstalkers, yeah.
Yeah.
It has Morgan in it, right?
Yeah. Morgan.
The bat chick.
Yeah. And then like,
she a baddie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, besides Morgan.
Exactly.
Any of those other characters. Oh, maybe Felicia the cat.
Oh, she's from Darkstalkers?
Yeah.
Yeah, she a baddie too.
Yeah. But, I know them from Marvel vs. Capcom, not Darkstalkers though.
Yeah, but they're like, the designs are cool. So I think if they did it correctly, it could be a banger.
Yeah.
Kind of like how like they brought back Street Fighter for Street Fighter 6 and it's like a Street Fighter's always been, one of the big threes. Yeah, but but it's like, you know.
No, I know. We did a Tekken episode, and by the end of that episode, I was convinced. I think Tekken is one of my favorite. I think above Street Fighter, but
truly, I just like the anime women. I'm a woman of culture.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
I'm a woman of taste. So I'm trying to see them back on the big screen.
Well, yeah, so they might bring it back. And how about Ace Attorney?
Love that series.
Do you think they should like bring it back? Because they have the mobile games, and a lot of these Capcom games have like mobile. You know, they have the ports or like the re-editions or whatever, but they have been dabbling into mobile games a lot.
I have yet to play like one good mobile game, something like actually keeps me on my phone for hours and just.
Well, so these games, they ported them over to your phone, so you can play the Ace Attorney games on your phone. And we were talking about in a different episode about how Crunchyroll has like access to some of those games. So I would like to see if Crunchyroll can maybe get Ace Attorney, because I have like the backbone, and that makes those games playable on my phone, because you know I hate like having to tap on the screen or.
Well, I think that is just like, maybe that's a cultural difference for us being in America, because I remember reading somewhere that like mobile games are so poppin' in Japan because they're always on the go.
Yeah, where everybody has a phone.
Exactly. But it's like a lot of like Ace Attorney games don't even get westernized over here.
Yeah.
So there are like a lot that like came out probably like 5 years ago, and like we could just now be seeing them. The same thing happened with, I don't know if y'all ever saw Ni no Kuni, the game.
No.
It's the game, came out originally on the PS3. There was one on the PS4 that has the art direction from Studio Ghibli. So all the art is Studio Ghibli. So it's basically like you're playing a Studio Ghibli movie.
Yeah.
Super sick game. Love that game. But the most recent one, like the third one, was a mobile game.
Well received, or?
No.
Because you were talking about the DS, you know, I mean, how powerful is your phone to play a fucking PlayStation game?
I mean, it looks fine, but it's not, for that game is like such like, it's like, imagine like you're playing like, you know, a Studio Ghibli movie.
Yeah.
It's an open world and there's character expansion. And so like the idea for mobile could work, but like to me, I was like, this is not it for me. No, it wasn't my move, but I also don't like mobile that much.
Well, so how about Devil May Cry?
A sequel?
I
would definitely love a sequel for that one.
I agree.
So they ported the first 3 on the Switch, and then there is the prequel DMC. 4 and 5 did come out as well, and I think they're going to do another one, but they're doing the anime, so I think all their stuff is tied in with that. And then Street Fighter 6. So Street Fighter was on there. So Street Fighter already has their sequel that came out. Resident Evil, that one, the last one.
Sequels and remakes.
So they're doing a lot of remakes for those, and Resident Evil 8, which is the furthest one, just came out in 2021, and they've already confirmed Resident Evil 9 is coming out in early 2025. And how about Monster Hunter? Do you play a lot of Monster Hunter at all, or?
I really don't actually.
No? What about you, Lewis? Monster Hunter?
I've heard of that game, but I haven't played it.
You just fight big monsters and you turn their bodies into weapons and armor. So you kill like a feathered monster and then you get a feathery piece of armor. So you kill a scorpion and then his like tail is like a sword.
I know the fan base for that is very diehard, very passionate about it.
So my friend met his current girlfriend on Monster Hunter.
Really?
Yeah. 2 gamers fell in love on Monster Hunter.
Could you believe?
Tell me.
Couldn't be me.
No? Can me a gamer?
My fiance is a gamer, but from Smash Bros. That is where we connected as Smash Bros.
I mean, all games. Games are games.
Games are games.
Games are games. So they do have Monster Hunter World, which came out in 2018. That one's a really big one in my friend group. And then Rise came out in 2022.
There's always some type of way of finding love.
Yeah.
Somewhere's one game. You could literally be one game away from finding your soulmate.
Yeah. We'll just, like I told my friends or whatever, like just keep doing the things that you're into and then you will find somebody, because then you can have that shared interest. I don't know. This is not a love podcast, but don't worry about going out and meeting somebody. Just focus on you and somebody will come.
Yep.
Like you weren't looking for somebody at that gaming tournament or whatever.
No, we just ended up being friends at first. Yeah. And then here we are today, 5 years later.
So there's also Final Fight. I'm not a big fan of Final Fight. Last one came out was Double Impact in 2010, but it is just like a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Oh, yeah.
I just think it's like one of my least favorite of those things. Like you have the Simpsons and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and even the X-Men game. And then there's Ghosts and Goblins.
Love.
You love Ghosts and Goblins?
Love.
Tell me.
That game is hard as
That game is hard as shit. That game is so hard.
How hard is it, actually?
So on my computer, I got like the Super Nintendo, the small one, like the mini.
Yeah.
And that game's on there. Or Super Ghosts and Goblins is on it. But it's the same game, kind of like the same mechanics. You can only get hit 3 times if you get the armor. So you start off with regular ass armor. And if you get hit once, you're naked. Yep. And if you get hit again, you die. You turn into a skeleton.
Shout out to my boy Arthur. Yes.
Yes. I like his underwear. He has like the old school, like, what is it, hearts? No, big boxers. It's just super hard, man. There's a lot going on, but I like the way the game feels. Like the double jump is nice.
I just respect that era of gaming, of just like the
no difficulty.
The
it just starts.
just like hard as shit
Right off the
video
bat.
game. You know what I mean? Like it's the type of game where it's like that game was made for an arcade. So like you're chilling at the laundromat, your mama's popping in them quarters, you waiting 3 hours for your bath towels to dry.
Right.
And then you just there at Ghosts and Goblins. Ooh, child, you pop in them quarters, your mama want to get rid of you so bad.
Yes, because that game eats quarters.
Yes.
Because you fucking die.
And that's the thing, they made their money.
Yeah.
And that's why I respect it. It's that era of just, laundromat games.
And usually I don't like that aesthetic. Like I don't like Ghosts and Goblins. Like, that fantasy.
You're not a spooky, ooky kind of
I'm
girl.
Not really. I mean, I like things that are done well. Like we talked about Harry Potter. I do like things about Harry Potter, but as far as like magic, not really into it. But I like it has good gameplay. This game, Ghosts and Goblins. So the last game that came out for them was Resurrection. Came out in 2021. There's a mobile game that came out in 2010, and then the last game before Resurrection was Ghosts and Goblins Ultimate, which came out on the portable PlayStation, which is the portable version of Lewis's favorite console, the PS2.
Yep.
Came out in 2006. And then the last game I have is Mega Man. How do you feel about Mega Man?
It's been a while since I played Mega Man.
The last Mega Man came out was Mega Man 11 in 2018.
It's been a while then.
Yeah. I mean, I got it for the Switch, and that is one of those hard games.
Oh, yeah.
Even with like the new stuff, it just keeps the same like rhythm,
Mega Man could do well with a revival if they took the time to listen to the fan base, because I feel like, recently, I'm sure you guys have seen that they've been porting some of the older ones to the Switch, particularly the Zero games. And Zero is a fan favorite. Like when Smash was like really coming out and new characters were dropping, people were like, get Zero in there.
Yeah.
Get that boy in there. So I think that if they did that, money.
Yeah, especially on the Switch. It's just something about it's so iconic to play Mega Man like handheld.
Yeah.
I don't know what about it. It's just so compelling.
Well, Mega Man 11 is really nice. And I like Bass. So I know there's like Proto Man or even like Zero.
Zero.
But I don't know. Mega Man and Bass on the GameCube or the Game Boy. That shit was my jam back in the day. So yeah, so they didn't release the results of this poll. So I guess they're just collecting data to see like which one of their franchises are still relevant or who cares about what. Maybe they should stop making Dead Rising games. But
Period.
so we'll just, it remains to be seen. All right. So then last in the realm of movies. So Studio Ghibli came out with a commercial for their Ghibli park. It's the amusement park that they have. So I want to share with you. It's 15 seconds. So are you a Ghibli girl at all? Or
I am. I mean,
what was that trailer, bro? I got confused. Did I miss something?
Yeah. So all it is Howl's Moving Castle just, moving through. Cause that's what it is.
Okay.
It's
they
didn't
even show me the park.
No, nothing.
They're going to have roller coasters. Like
they have some roller coasters. Nothing roller coaster wise.
Or is it just more like a walkthrough park, like an amusement, like kind of showing you like
I'll show you.
Like Howl's Moving Castle, like maybe you can interact with it, go inside of it, kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that. It's almost like how we have in Universal here. Like once they open a new area, they just combine a bunch of things and bring it to life. Okay, so this is a park that's already existing, but then they're adding one new area, but it has 3 different animes. So there's Howl's Moving Castle that they're adding. Okino's Residence, which is from Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So there's, where she lives, and oh my God, I practice how to say this. I'm drawing a blank on the name. I get nervous about pronunciations.
What is it? Gucho Kipanya?
The bakery from Kiki's Delivery Service. Then there's Howl's Moving Castle, the Hatter's Millinery, where she makes the hats. In the beginning of the movie, she makes hats with her mom.
Okay.
And then House of the Witches from Earwig and the Witch.
Trash.
That one.
Trash.
So, yeah, we talked about it in our Ghibli episode. I haven't seen it, to be fair.
You don't need to.
No.
If you're an athlete, you know the greatest motivator of all is the fear of letting your teammates down. After all, a team is only as good as its weakest link. So you owe it to those wearing the same jersey as you to be your best every time you step on the field. That's why there's no vape in team. When you vape, you can expose your lungs to toxic chemicals that can damage your lungs. If you're a step behind, the team's a step behind. Brought to you by The Real Cost and the FDA.
This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. In breaking news, leading scientists worldwide are conducting experiments to determine if Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate. However, it appears the study was inconclusive, as the scientists couldn't help but eat all the Reese's. Because when you want something sweet, you can't do better than Reese's. Find Reese's now at a store near you.
You ain't missing much.
No, they just didn't do CGI right.
Do they ever?
Never.
I mean, I like Pixar movies. I know.
Okay, girl.
I know.
I'm talking about that anime CGI. I'm talking about like Berserk 2016, like through the trenches.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I know. I don't want to talk about it in every episode, but
We always mention it.
well, I don't like the way Chainsaw Man looks just because of the CGI in Chainsaw Man. So I'm not very forgiving of that. But
That's fair. I think that's fair.
But yeah, so there's just, this park is, we do have plans to try to make it out there one day.
To Tokyo.
To Tokyo. So it's not, I think, so it is in Tokyo, but there's like also another museum. So when you go on the website, it says this is for Ghibli Park. This is not for the Ghibli Museum. Mm-hmm. But also what I was looking at is a lot of the stuff is super inexpensive out there. So tickets to this Ghibli Park is like not even like $25 for adults. And kids are from 4 to 12, it's $13, and kids 3 and under are free. So a friend of mine who actually went to Japan was telling me that our dollar travels a lot farther, over there than it does over here.
Well, good to know.
Yeah.
I think the most expensive part just to get over there is just the flight and hotel, probably.
Right. Or no, not even the hotel.
Not even the hotel, but more like the flight is probably going to cost you more than when you actually get there and actually have fun and enjoy the attractions and enjoy Tokyo and Japan. And, and probably all the money you're going to spend on buying like video games and mangas and all this stuff that you're going to try to take back home.
I mean, we talked about it in our Isekai episode about like there's being a lot of vending machines. And my friend has told me that there's a lot of arcades like just everywhere, and they're old school as fuck. So
yeah, I love watching a YouTube video of people just touring Japan, and I'm like, I'm poor.
I would love to.
Oh my God, I want to do it so bad. We'd have to try to.
And not just that, the food
alone.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, I love ramen. And then, admission to this Ghibli museum is only like $6. I don't know. We do want to make plans out there. If I could, then we would go to this park. Just look forward to that.
Okay.
All right. So
meat and potatoes. Time to eat. Time to grub.
Time to eat on these meat and potatoes and puffins. Puffins. You ever play the Pokemon games when they had the puffins?
Puffins.
Meat and potatoes and puffins.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Pokemon or Pocket Monsters, which is what I'm probably going to name the episode.
Pocket Monsters.
Pocket Monsters.
Interesting.
So it's a massive media franchise that spans over video games, animated series, movies, and a trading card game. Originally developed by Game Freak as an RPG video game that released on the Game Boy in February of '96. First with Pokemon Red and Blue, and then later with Pokemon Yellow.
In America. In the Western, because in Japan, they had Red and Green. They didn't have Red and Blue.
Oh, yes, you're right. And
then when it got rebooted over here to the West, that's why we got Leaf Green.
Yes, I love Leaf Green. So that was one of my first Pokemon games.
That was your first?
It wasn't my first. Like it was the first one that I had access to, or that I didn't had hand me down.
Because I had Red.
Yeah, Red.
The Game
Red version.
Boy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't really get to play. I played it afterwards, but my first game that I had was like one of the crystals, like Crystal. It's one of the second generation, the Johto generation. Crystal, but there was like 2.
No, they had Gold, Silver, and Crystal.
Okay, that's what it was. I think I had Crystal.
How about you, Snail? What was yours?
First one.
First Pokemon game.
So I had a bit of a ghetto experience.
Tell me.
With
Go for
it. Some might have said I grew up in the hood.
By the railroad tracks?
No, girl, we couldn't afford railroad tracks.
Okay.
Girl, I'm talking like them trailer parks that got like 10,000 cats living underneath your trailer and you just end up with one in your house. That was my youth. For me, y'all can't come for this, man, but my dad used to emulate games for me.
Really?
All the time. Because like back when Blockbuster was around in particular, my dad used to burn CDs.
Yeah.
And so he would just like rent out like a PS2 game and then like burn it for me to be able to play on my uncle's PS2.
Wow.
So with Pokemon games.
I remember that.
Oh yeah. And so with Game Boy games in particular, I would play like loosely on my uncle's Game Boy because when I was born, my uncle was 11. So I had a lot of his hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
And so I loved watching Pokemon. I loved watching him play Pokemon. But then my dad, we didn't have money to get a Game Boy and a games and all that. So he would just on the computer download an emulator and he got me every Pokemon game. So technically speaking, the first Pokemon game that I have recollection of playing, I believe was Emerald.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But then I played all of them, just not legally.
Yeah. I mean, the thing
we do
about
illegal
that
stuff here. I talk about illegal stuff I've done in my past and I try to be like, hey, I've done this, but
you confess to some crimes on this podcast.
Listen, y'all can't come for me. That was like 20 years ago. You can't.
The statute of limitations on piracy is so far.
Yep.
The thing about that though is that you can't trade trade though, because it's all on the computers.
I didn't have friends.
So that was the thing. So that's why I say maybe like Leaf Green was one of my bigger earlier memories, because that's the game I remember trading with. Because they got me the game, and then I got my brother the game. So then I had Leaf Green, or I had Fire Red, and he had Leaf Green. So then we would like trade the tradable Pokemons,
version exclusives.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
I never got a chance to do the trading.
No,
I guess you're right.
It's pretty cool.
I didn't have enough friends to do the trading.
Well, because I would even battle, because you could battle with like the link cable. I remember that's what we had for the Game Boy.
You were rich? Yeah. That sounds like some rich people thing. Like you had the accessories to
budget.
Go with it.
Yeah.
Budget.
Both of y'all got the game and the system and the cable to share.
Wait, so y'all had your own systems?
Right?
Yeah, it's Christmas.
Under one roof?
Christmas,
man.
What, y'all got separate beds too? Dang.
Separate pillows. You ain't share one pillow?
No. I'm only poor now. I grew up very comfortably.
Damn.
So after this sleeper hit that was the game, it was also followed by a manga, and then a trading card game, and then an anime, and then movies. So I was going to ask you guys, what's your earliest Pokemon memory? So what about you, Lewis? What's your earliest Pokemon memory?
So like my memory is horrible. So I do remember having Pokemon Red on the Game Boy. So I do remember playing that.
Yeah.
I don't have too much memories of it, but just knowing that I just had the Red and that's what I played. TB wise, I used to watch it a lot like after Yu-Gi-Oh! On the WB channel.
Yeah, well, 4Kids.
Yeah, 4Kids. Yeah. So that's like when I got into it. And that's when like I love when they do like the little commercials and they're like, what Pokemon is this?
Yeah,
and then,
who's that Pokemon?
who's that Pokemon? And then you're trying to figure it out and they'll cut into commercial, but then they'll come right back like right on it.
Yeah.
And then like, it's Puff or whatever the Pokemon is called.
Girl, what did you just say?
Did I say it right?
No.
How do you say it?
Jigglypuff?
Jigglypuff.
It's a hillbilly puff.
Like, Jigglypuff. And I was like, oh, damn, well, I got that wrong.
Y'all better come for this, man.
Also, comfort.
Jigglypuff stands rise up.
Yeah, right?
But yeah, like stuff like that. Like that's where I remember. But being honest, I was more a Yu-Gi-Oh fan than I was a Pokemon fan. I felt like you felt an either or at that time because it was such a big thing.
I was big into both. Into both. That's why when we were talking about Toonami, like I didn't even know that those were anime. I thought that they were just regular cartoons, but they were just my favorite of the cartoons that I watched.
Well, that was just very like 2000s of them to like they would just like have anime on just random times of the day. Yeah. And it's like looking back, you're like, oh my God, that was anime. But like I remember like I was obsessed with Hamtaro when I was a kid.
Yes.
Y'all know Hamtaro?
Yes.
And that show was just on Cartoon Network. Like they're like, here's Looney Tunes, next is Hamtaro.
Yeah, I remember I would watch it like if I was sick from home because they had like the baby Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
And then Hamtaro was like right in that block. Damn. So I mean that's my Pokemon. I was real big into Pokemon. And some trivia. I know Lewis kind of flubbed up there, but on the very first Pokemon movie, they mistake Alakazam with some other Pokemon.
Oh, Kadabra.
Or no. It's some Pokemon that is nowhere near Alakazam, and they think that it's Alakazam. It's like what is it? Team Rocket. It will play a clip in the video version, but
okay.
Even Pokemon gets it wrong sometimes. So
every once in a while.
From a dog, bro.
Thank you.
You go ahead. You got the Pokemon master on this episode. I'm about to be like, what did you say?
Yeah. All right, so starting off with the anime. So we're gonna go into the anime, video games, and movies. And Pokemon is big, so this is definitely gonna be a jam-packed episode. I'm so glad you're on this. But my first question is favorite generation.
Second gen, Johto.
Johto,
absolutely.
Out of all of them,
period. Yes.
What about you?
I think first
generation. Mm-hmm. So I'm big into the first generation as well. And then my excitement to Pokemon does kind of like peak and then taper off, and then it gets like reignited or whatever. But I do agree, Johto is my favorite of the generations, just because like I was so enthralled with the first one, and then when like new Pokemon came out, I was like, okay, yeah, this is it. Like it's not a phase, or they can do this forever. And then I'm like, a lot of my favorite Pokemon are from Johto as well. Favorite Pokemon moments from the anime. Basically,
with the anime, I particularly remember like the first iteration of it as well as the second. Mm-hmm. I watched the other ones, but I just don't have as much of a confident memory of it. Yeah. But I just love how saucy the first season was. Like, y'all remember that? The way that
Jigglypuff stuff, or
no, the way that like Brock would just be like hitting on people, and then Misty would just like whoop them.
Yeah,
just like whip the shit out of him.
That was like a fun.
She's
dynamic.
Like, you dumbass. You ain't getting no punani tonight. You better get on out.
She was a big cock block. That shit would kind of piss me off though.
She would just bah, 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 bah. And then later seasons, like Krogunk was his partner Pokemon. He would just like
with the poison stab.
Yeah, he would just poison jab him, just get his ass.
So, but it wasn't like it wasn't like Nurse Joy or Officer Jenny was like, oh, ew, no, Brock. They wouldn't even give her a chance to reply before Misty was
beating him up.
Do y'all remember when Pokemon was releasing like like songs in their commercials, and Brock had one song where he would sing about the women in his life.
No, I don't know that.
Oh my!
We're gonna play this in the video version, but
I think about it all the time because Brock literally had this song there. He was like, Jenny, oh Jenny, joy. Oh joy. And he was just like in a tuxedo or something, and he was just like singing about the women in his life that he wanted.
he was a romantic.
That shit went crazy. Bro, he had all them kids at home he had to take care of. He was trying to find a baby mama.
Did he? Or I don't know.
It was his dad.
I know
they
his
were
dad.
his siblings.
Oh. Yes.
Wait, did he have kids? I don't remember that.
No, I remember his dad. And then there's like a clip that I've seen where it's like, oh, is this your piece of shit father or whatever?
Literally, that does happen.
That ditched your family? He's like, yep, that's him right there.
He's for real just like sitting on a bench, and I think he's talking to Ash or something.
Yeah.
And Ash is like, oh, you're Brock's dad?
Right.
You suck.
Yeah, really. I mean, some of my favorite moments are, it is about the Pokemon fighting to me, and only recently have I like opened up with like just like the aesthetic of Pokemon. Like I would love to live in a Pokemon world. I go back and forth. I would hate to get like my house burnt down by a salamander in the backyard, but just in general, like for me, a lot of the interest in Pokemon was the fighting, which is why I was so big into the game, because that's what the game's about. So my favorite Pokemon growing up was Charizard for a while, because he just had all the best fights. He fought with Magmar. That shit was fucking fire. Literally. He fought with Blaziken, and I remember that was when they were moving from Generation 2 to Generation 3. So that was like the first Generation 3 Pokemon that I saw was Blaziken. And it was like at the end of the season. I remember they had Pokemon videos that you could play on your Game Boy.
Yeah.
And that was one of the ones that I had was Blaziken versus Charizard. I would fucking watch that shit like fucking burn the AA batteries watching that shit over and over again.
I will say his seismic toss move went hard.
Ready to go around the world?
Yes, that went bananas.
So he also fought Articuno in one of the episodes. He like leaves. It's like way later on. Then he comes back and fights Articuno with Ash. Charizard was definitely, nowadays I'm more into like Blastoise between the three.
Gotta represent.
Yeah.
Period with the Squirtle show.
I like Squirtle. Squirtle out of the three. The Squirtle Squad.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So what about video games? What's your favorite of the video games? You said like you went pro or whatever with Diamond, but.
Oh yeah. So I used to play them competitively.
Yeah.
I knew a little bit too much about the competitive scene of it. But then it's like once 5th gen got introduced, it was just like, I just couldn't keep up with it. Like
5th gen, is that X
Black and White?
Black and White. Right.
And it's like with Diamond and Pearl, that being 4th generation, it was like, I just really liked the competitive nature of making a battle team, strategizing. But then it's like, it just got way too complicated as time went on. So I just kind of like stayed in that generation. Then I was like, it keeps moving too fast. They release too many games. But with it, when it comes to actual like games, I'm actually a spin-off girl.
Okay.
I love a Pokemon spin-off. You ever played Coliseum?
Yes.
You play Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness?
Yes. They wanted to bring those games back. Or not,
I am,
they like the fans.
I am praying for the day
I know.
that those games drop. Even if they were to remake it, like how Thousand Year Door is getting a remake, Paper Mario. So that's getting a port to the Switch, a remake. If they just did that with the GameCube games, I would be at least satisfied.
I don't know why they don't.
Because they don't like money.
Guess
They
not.
can't even make a proper modern day Pokemon game. You think they gonna make an old school one? Come on.
What's your Louis' favorite Pokemon game?
Pokemon X.
Pokemon X?
Yeah, on the 3DX.
Tell me.
I think that was like after the red. I don't remember playing so many Pokemons after.
You didn't play
the red.
Crystal or Emerald or Diamond or
No, I think that the next version that I played was X on the 3DS because I got the 3DX, and
Okay.
I think that's where I was like, okay, I'm back onto Pokemon for a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, no, for the video games, at least my favorite game was Emerald. Emerald was like really, really nice. And
So like, what makes it like? What made that game good to you? Because sometimes I feel
Emerald?
like it's different Pokemons.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because they have different Pokemons that just makes that your favorite game, or is
Was
it
it
the
plot?
story?
Yeah, because that was
So-
one of the first Pokemon games that really had like a consistent plot line to it.
For me, I don't know. And I was always Mr. like, like just fucking skip the story. Like just, there was even like a setting you could do where if you just hold the B button, it would just fucking fly through the dialogue. So I wasn't really too into the story in that one. Just the Pokemon, man. Like
This
just
is the Pokemon.
yeah, because it was like reigniting my interest into Pokemon. Because imagine, I'm on Pokemon 1. I had like the VHS tapes of the Kanto region, and I was like just playing them. Then Crystal came out and new Pokemon. I think those games had color. Like the XP bar was like colored, and the animation was like more like thematic.
For Crystal
with 8-bit,
especially,
8-bit.
it
Yeah.
was the first one that introduced like when the Pokemon
like
would
a-
pop out of the Pokeball,
yes.
like they would like move. They had like a
Yes.
moving animation.
So that is why I love the aesthetic of those Pokemons. But game wise, just like, because that's when I was like big into like fighting and, you know, battling my friends. And I think you had like the Battle Frontier.
In third gen, yeah.
So, or even like, you know, I wasn't too into it. Like I'm not a completionist, but back then, you know, you're fucking playing the game 10 hours a day. I would do the contests. Those, you go in, you do a cool move, you try to, you know, mix it with a cute move or whatever. And
the beauty contest.
Get those stars.
Gotta get flexing on them.
So
Absolutely.
That's where I was like, okay, I love everything Pokemon. It's not just the battling. It's not just this anime. It is everything this Pokemon has to offer. So that for me, that's when my, you know, it just multiplied game to game. So it kind of not fell off with Diamond. I did like Diamond. I liked all the new Pokemon with Diamond, but I don't know. You could like do certain things to your Pokemon and make them like change into other versions of like the Gen 1 Pokemon. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like for me, I was never into the plot of, you know, whatever the game, with the story.
Yeah.
It was just more of like playing. So like for the Nintendo 3DS, I love the fact that when they incorporated, like the top screen was just the actual gameplay and then the bottom screen was your moves.
Yeah, your party.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what like
in...
really got me into it, but it's more of just like the actual fighting, the actual leveling up and like fighting the trainers and stuff like that, and like finding a Pokemon that you're very interested in. Or that's to me is like what really got me into like playing Pokemon games again. But it was never the plot. Like I was like you said, like I was just always fast forwarding with the dialogue. Like every time they had something,
like, I don't really care. Yes, Team Magmar, fucking try to catch Groudon, whatever. Let me catch him.
Right? I can do it.
I can do it.
They fail.
Did you guys ever play 5th gen Black and White?
No. So I fell off after Diamond. Like, I like Infernape. I like all those Pokemon, but then after that, I just was like, I can't go. Like, I think those Pokemon looked the weirdest to me was 5th gen.
Really?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing about 5th gen. 5th gen is like known for its plot line.
Yeah.
Like 5th gen has a lot of fans to it because it's like the first time that Pokemon really introduced having like a consistent plot line. And it's also the first time that when they made a sequel, you know how they normally would make like another one? It would be like, you know, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. And that was the third. Yeah. They made Black and White and then Black and White 2.
Right. Yeah.
So it was like actually a sequel and it takes place years after the events of Black and White. It actually has a consistent plot line. So there's like the characters, like for instance, I mean, it's not really spoiler because the game's been out for over 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's like your rivals in Black and White 1, like Sharon, he's now a gym leader in Black and White 2. Like he's grown up. He's not your rival anymore. He is now a gym leader with a job.
So that's what I was going to ask. Do you port your Pokemon over or how does that work with sequels? Do you start as a new trainer?
You're a new trainer.
Really? A different trainer?
You're a different trainer. It's like 5 years in the future. So you're a completely different kid starting out on your Pokemon journey. And like you as like the player, you recognize these characters. You're like, oh, he's still at the gym. Oh, this person looks different. Oh, this person has
and it's the same town. It's the same like town map.
Same region. There's like slight differences in some of the aesthetics. Yeah. But like it's the type of game where it's like you could play them out of order, but like you have more fun playing the sequel because you can recognize all the things from the first one.
I wonder that'd be pretty cool. Like a sequel to any of those other games. A sequel to Black and White, or not Black and White, Red and Blue. A sequel to Crystal or Emerald, because they did have a story, but like you said, it wasn't like, you know.
I mean, with Red and Blue, at least, I feel like they kind of did that with second gen, because in Johto, when you finish the initial plot line, you can go back to Kanto.
Yes. Oh my God. I didn't even know that for the longest time. And then I just love Pokemon, man. A question that you wanted to ask is for Pokemon Day.
Yes. I don't know when this video will be put up, but February 27th is Pokemon Day. Every year they have Pokemon Day, and Pokemon fans all over the globe are anticipating what new things are going to be announced for the Pokemon world. So I would love to ask you guys, what are you hoping for this year's Pokemon Day?
I'll let you go, Lewis. What you got for Pokemon Day?
Man, I'm trying to think. Like what? Like a new announcement, like a video game?
Just anything. Pokemon. There's just so much Pokemon that they can do. Like what would be nice, cool to you? Like a new Pokemon game. I know they're doing the new show, like a movie.
Typically, the way Pokemon Day has worked in like the past is usually they announce like certain things. They'll be like, okay, here's a new movie no one cares about. Right. Here's the next season of the anime. Here are a bunch of games. And lately, they've been doing phone apps, as we talked earlier. Of course, there's always phone apps. Yeah. So they'll probably do like the beginning will usually be like expansions on things. Okay. So like I don't know if you guys know about Pokemon Unite.
Yes, I do. I played it. It's like what is it? It's like League of Legends. With Pokemon.
Yeah. It's a MOBA with Pokemon. Yeah. But it's like they'll probably talk about that for a little bit and then expand upon other things that are already pre-existing, announce in real life events that they do like tournaments and stuff. But the juice comes from what is going to be the surprise announcement that they have. Because every year it's something like, I don't remember if they announced it at previous Pokemon days, but I'm sure you guys have seen Legends Arceus, which was like banger of a drop. Yes. Or they announced a new generation of Pokemon, or there's always something.
Yeah, I played that game. game. I haven't finished it, but I remember when I saw it, I was like, wow.
Banger.
That's exactly like I've always wanted to play a Pokemon game like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
What are you looking forward to?
I mean, we said it earlier. I would love for them to bring over like Coliseum or XD, just because I love those games. Like you start off with the Espeon and an Umbreon, and then you just go and, you know, it is kind of like fucked up. You catch other people's Pokemon.
They deserve it.
Yeah.
Girl, they like drug these Pokemon. They got them dark form. Just like, you're just taking them back and purifying them.
Oh my God. I remember I was fucking grinding that game, taking them to that damn town and dipping them in the water or whatever.
Yeah, you got to like baptize them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say
get the sin
though,
off.
with Pokemon Day, there's been a lot of leaks and, you know, predictions online from people that they're saying that what might be announced is a new game with a playstyle like Pokemon Legends Arceus, but second generation Johto.
Oh, that would be dope.
But they're saying that it's going to be like Johto, but it follows like the plot of like a Legends Arceus playstyle, but like, you know, like you're in the past with like Ho-Oh and like the tower and Lugia and being underwater and all that stuff, which could be super sick.
Yeah, that would be dope. Okay, that's my new hope now.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, I got you on something.
Yes, I'm subscribed.
On the 27th, bro.
So for video games, so I wanted to ask you guys, what is your Pokemon team of 6? We'll start with Snail.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
So if I can, I actually took a screenshot. I thought of it last night.
Oh, of course.
Go for it.
Of course.
And the way that I envision it for myself is not really like a party in the sense of like competitive battle. I already did that.
Okay.
I was that girl.
Yeah.
I'm looking like if I was Gary Oak and I was in the anime, what would be like my signature Pokemon?
Right.
My favorite Pokemon, number 1 would be Goomy. Y'all know Goomy?
No.
So this is Goomy.
Okay.
He's like this silly little goo drop, but he's a dragon Pokemon. Love him.
Is he final form?
No, he's first.
Okay.
His last one is Goodra.
But you'd keep Goomy.
I would keep Goomy because he looks stupid.
Okay.
I like things that look like I could help them.
Okay.
Look at him. He's just a little wiggly goo dude.
Yeah.
I love Umbreon.
Right.
Iconic, classic. Weavile.
I like Weavile.
I would love to have a shiny Weavile. I have a shiny Weavile in Pokemon Go, and she's pink and yellow.
That's pretty cool.
Iconic color combination. Hisuian Zoroark.
Oh, my brother knows that one.
The Hisuian form of the 5th gen Pokemon that was introduced in Legends Arceus.
Okay.
He's super sick looking. He's a ghost type.
He looks pretty sick.
Porygon.
Really? Porygon?
I am a Porygon stan and apologist.
Apologist? Why? Because he gave all those kids the seizure?
Yes, he deserves better. He hasn't been in an episode since.
Yeah.
They did him so
I have epilepsy.
dirty.
I can't deal with Porygon.
It's not my fault.
So, but not Porygon 2? Porygon 2 is too stupid, or?
I love all of them respectively, but there's something so charming about this little block man.
Yeah.
That it's just like, I love that they progressively get more jacked up. You know what I mean? Like if you look at their animations, like Porygon 1, he's like floating around.
Yeah.
Porygon 2, he's kind of
he's like one of those things, like those
he's a
birds.
little bobber pendulum thing.
Yeah.
And the third one just like is cracked out. He's just like literally seizing, just like on the floor, just like flying. I'm like, oh, I love them all. But Porygon 1 is like my OG love of my life.
I remember complaining with my brother about how they had like, Frozen Gelato Mon and Garbage Can Mon. That's what I used to call
That's just
them.
5th gen.
That is 5th gen. So I would talk shit to him about 5th gen, and he would defend it, saying, okay, well, what about Magnemite? What about Porygon?
Yeah, bro. What about Voltorb?
Yeah, so, I mean...
I will also say, in defense of Gelatomon, aka Vanillish,
right?
You have to understand. So I don't know if you guys know, but with Pokemon, each generation they base it off of a real life region of a country.
Yeah.
Do you know what 5th gen is based off of?
Where?
America.
Oh, yes.
So that's why we have a trash Pokemon, is because we're in America.
The shade.
And so they gave us Trubbish. The first, the standard Pokemon you catch is a cat, because we always have street cats.
Yeah.
And they gave us ice cream because we love ice cream. We're fat.
They should have had a hot dog Mon and, maxed out credit card Mon.
Honestly. Oh, and then my last one was Lopunny.
Lopunny.
So here's the thing.
You don't get eyebrows for Lopunny?
I do. And here's the thing. I debated a lot last night to talk about my love for Lopunny, because I'm like, I'm going to get some sus looks.
Good. I'm ready.
But
it's a safe space.
I think she's so cool.
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember when I was a kid growing up, like, when you're growing up and you see something that kind of looks like you, and you're like, you relate to it. Like, not to say I look like a fucking bunny, but like I have poofy hair and Lopunny looks like this like tall statuesque Pokemon with big poofy hair that's just like iconic. And I was like, oh my God, I love her. That would be like my partner Pokemon.
Right, that's the one you keep out of the ball.
Yes, because I'm like, oh my God, like we look iconic together.
Yeah.
And like if in the anime, 4th gen, Dawn had a Baneri who was like a little brat. Like she was a little bitch.
Right.
And she was like wild and all the time. And I'm like, oh my God, I love her.
That was me before I was a Lucani.
Yes. So I just think that Pokemon is just like really cool aesthetically.
Okay.
All right.
No, I like the team. I like it a lot.
What's yours, bro?
So for me, I gotta start with Greninja. He's like the only Pokemon I like from that generation. There's some actually that I do like, but he got me back into it. Like, okay, yeah, Pokemon. I'm sorry, I was talking shit, about your generations or whatever. I like grew up and I was, like whenever 4th gen came out, I was like,
you advanced.
I was still a young adult or whatever. So I was still too old for Pokemon. But then
Never too old.
You're never too old.
But then once 5th generation came out, I was just like, damn. All right, I might have to jump back on Pokemon. So Greninja, he's my character in Smash Bros. He's the deck that I have, the TCG.
Okay.
My Greninja deck is fucking fire.
I respect that.
And so Jolteon, I feel like you always got to have an Eevee.
I respect that.
You always got to have an evolution. She's my favorite or whatever. She's just the strongest. She's so fast. She's so powerful. She doesn't have good defense, but like that was my Pikachu. It's like I'm a dog person. I love dogs. So of course I got to have Jolteon. Medicham, the fighting. Just because, I got to
third gen.
You got to have some hands in
I
there.
gotta have some hands. It was between, and I wish I could have more than 6. I know I made the roll, whatever, but freaking between Blaziken, Hitmonlee, I think Medicham has like that.
You like a fighting type.
I like a fighting type. I like a Bruce Lee character.
Okay.
Rowlet, and just like your Goomy, I would keep it Rowlet.
Yeah, because he's a little orb.
I just
My boy is Circle.
I would just love to have it like, and I'm afraid of birds, or I don't trust birds is what I should say. But yeah. I got killed by a bird in a past life.
You know how hard it was to get him to go watch The Boy and the Heron? Just
Yeah.
Child.
I was like
terrified.
Lewis, is the Heron off the screen yet?
Girl.
So in the anime, Rowlet just has like a bunch of cool scenes where it's like, freaking out or making a bunch of funny faces, and it evolves into like this emo bird and then becomes like this whole,
Dartrix, yeah.
Yeah, like this emo bird.
Yeah.
And I just love it. And then Snorlax, always gotta have Snorlax.
Big body.
Big bodies. I do like Munchlax, but Snorlax for sure. All day, every day. Strongest Pokemon I've ever had. Earthquake, Body Slam, you're fucking dead. And then last, if I had to do it by, I try to do it off a team, so it's like well-rounded, because my team is a trainer's team, but also / chill team. Blaziken, either Blaziken or Arcanine.
Okay.
And then if we had to do a legendary, I would do Deoxys, but
love Deoxys.
I kind of look away when I see people who have legendaries on their team.
See, that's why I didn't put any, because it's like, for me, I love Rayquaza.
Yeah.
Love Rayquaza.
That's your legendary?
The
Chinese dragon?
That shit look crazy.
It's good. It's fire.
Bro, the way that Rayquaza just pops up in the Deoxys movie.
Yes.
And just bodies them.
Yes.
It's just like, knock your shit off.
No, Deoxys is that's so dope. Like he just like grab a hand or like all these different forms of Deoxys. Super, super nice. But yeah. But what about you, Lewis? Team of 6.
I made my list. It's nothing crazy.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, no
it's mostly like Gen 1 Pokemon. So we got Squirtle, of course.
Squirtle. Gotta go with the Squirtle.
Yeah.
With the shades or?
With the shades.
Squirtle Squad.
Yes,
Squirtle.
sir. I got Golduck.
Golduck. Oh, right. Yeah. Psychic Duck.
Yeah, Psychic Duck.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And then I got Lucario.
Okay.
I feel like I'm throwing you guys off with this list.
That's not a Gen 1 Pokemon.
I know, that's not a Gen. I said I had a couple of Gen 1.
Okay. No, I like Lucario.
Charmander.
Charmander, not Charizard? Wow. Keep a Squirtle and a Charmander.
Yeah, you gotta have a little fire. And
if Ash could do it, he could. Because Ash kept his Bulbasaur and his Squirtle. They didn't evolve. He didn't peer pressure them.
I know, but why not? Because he didn't love them. They didn't love him. Why didn't they evolve?
I mean, Pikachu didn't love him in the beginning either.
No.
Pikachu had a whole episode.
I know. I love that episode.
Where he didn't want to evolve.
Yeah.
Because he like got jealous and he's like, but I don't want to change.
Right.
Ash didn't make them change unless they wanted to, and they didn't want to. Charizard changed because he wanted to, because he was a little bitch.
The thing with that Pokemon episode or Pikachu episode is that he didn't want to evolve into Raichu, but then because Lieutenant Surge evolved his Pikachu into Raichu so fast, he didn't have the speed that a Pikachu does.
Yeah.
So he was able to like do
With
a quick
the power
attack.
of love, you mean? Every anime has the power of love and friendship.
Yeah.
He did it for Ash.
Yeah, I do like Pikachu, but I mean, he fucked up. He should have evolved Pikachu into Raichu.
I don't know, bro.
don't
Raichu
think
kind of
so.
fat.
So
Fashion.
even what about Alolan? I mean, I know they're not in
Bro.
Alolan, but
Okay, hold on.
Go ahead.
Let me talk about Alolan Raichu real quick.
how do you
Okay.
feel about Alolan Pokemon?
I don't hate them. I'm whatever. I think that they did it better with the future ones, like the Galarian versions.
Right.
I think they really learned. The Alolan ones are kind of dumb looking to me.
Okay,
Have you read the Pokedex entry for Alolan Raichu?
no,
The way he evolves is by eating too many pancakes.
really.
I can't make this shit up.
But she-
Look it up. Swear to you, look it up.
What about
If-
waffles?
Girl, not the waffles. She went to IHOP
Right.
and she said, "Give me the all you can eat."
All you can eat,
All you
please.
can eat.
And then that bitch started levitating.
Yeah, I have a Pokemon battle after this in the gym.
She said, "I got to work."
Well, because Alolan Raichu is slimmer than regular Raichu.
Yeah, she's a surfer.
Yeah,
But she got the powers from eating pancakes. It's the dumbest shit I have ever heard in my life, but she did it.
I've read somewhere that those Pokemon entries are supposed to be written by like trainers. Like it's not from a database or whatever.
It's from the Pokemon professors, if I
Professors?
remember correctly, because their whole job is to like survey the Pokemon.
yeah.
So, but some of the Pokedex entries are really interesting. If you look at them, Drifloon, you know about her?
Well,
The
there's-
way she abducts children?
yes,
Get your boy. Get your boy.
I just like that Pokemon, as kiddish as it is, has like this. It's very well thought out. Like all the
Yes.
lore to all the Pokemon, like how the Cubone, Kangaskhan thing, the Clefairy, Gengar, like all of that. I just I love it because I mean we'll talk about it with the new anime coming out, but there's a lot that they can do
Now, hold
without.
on. I want to know the rest of your list.
Oh, right,
Sorry
right,
to
right.
interrupt you.
Oh, sorry. No, it's all good. You guys like really get into it. I'm just listening. Like, okay.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
And the last one thing I had I had two more left. Machop.
Okay.
Machop?
Yeah.
Okay, work.
You keeping all these Pokemon like level 10?
Why?
I just okay.
Bro, that's when he stopped playing the game. Stop judging it.
Right.
These are some Pokemon that like I could think of, and I was like, okay. Literally had to think about this, and I was like,
These are some 3 badge Pokemon right here, right?
my bad. I don't got your evolution and your legendary.
Right.
And last one is
Mewtwo?
Mewtwo. So you do it. So that is a legendary.
I just remember him from the movies.
That's fair.
All
Okay.
right.
I thought he was cool.
That's a solid team, bro. It's a solid team.
The solid team.
Solid team.
Am
Yeah,
I
man.
winning?
Winning?
Am I winning any type of championship battles?
Maybe some contests.
Some.
Yeah.
No.
Girl, after that team, it looks like you like traded over a Mewtwo from a special event and then you stopped after the
Oh.
third gym.
That's all I got.
So with Pokemon video games, I wanted to bring up Power World. So how do you,
The controversy on that.
yeah, how do you feel about Power World?
Have you played it?
I haven't played it.
I haven't played it either. I've
Have you
seen
played it?
gameplay.
I have.
How do you feel about it? Is
It's
that something
fun.
You've streamed?
I mean, I haven't streamed Pal World. Pal World, if I remember correctly, I remember reading somewhere that they had like weird streaming restrictions where it's like,
Really? They had streaming restrictions. That's so funny.
it's like the way that they worded it was super weird to me because they said like if you were to stream it, basically like the video would be like their property.
Okay.
It wouldn't be like yours. So it's like if they were to do like advertising, they could just like rip my clips and like not ask me permission for it.
Yeah, cut you out.
Yeah, which I don't particularly care for. So I just stayed away. But I did play it. It's free on Game Pass. So
It is. I read that.
but it is bananas how they just stole shit from it. Someone data mined it. And if I remember correctly, they literally took models from the 3DS Pokemon games and just changed them a little bit to make the pals. If you play it, when y'all ever play Breath of the Wild?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you go to a new area, it's like ding, and there's like that little jingle type of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, girl, they do the same shit in Power World. When you get to a new area, that little jingle, girl, the text on the screen is the same. That game is just, they took like 3 different franchises. It took like Ark, Zelda, and Pokemon, just like slapped it together.
Yes, so that's how I've been heard. How I heard it's been like described to me or whatever. It's like Ark with Pokemon
Yeah.
with guns. So
Yeah.
I didn't dislike Ark. The fun of Ark for me was playing with my friends, but I'm not really too into dinosaurs, and I don't dislike Minecraft, but it's just not my style of game. Like that whole survival, just fucking chop trees and make houses. I don't know. I'm not for that. The fun is the fun that I have with my friends, but not the game itself. Like I don't really find it very rewarding. That's why I haven't played it. And obviously it costs or whatever, but
I think it's fun. It's like, it's worth it if
Yeah.
you want to try it.
yeah,
Just from
I
them
think-
like ripping off the game of like Pokemon and stuff like that, would actual real Pokemon players be disrespected of like, oh, I'm not gonna play that game? Because
I don't know, man. Because
is that like the huge controversy, or is it just like they ripped off like characters from Pokemon? and that's it.
It always happens. They used to say like Digimon was ripping off Pokemon, and that's more like not direct, but Pokemon.
Digimon came first.
Did it?
Yeah.
Pokemon's bigger than Digimon though.
I know. No, Digimon came first because it came out as Tamagotchis first.
No.
So technically speaking, like the Digimon name
Yeah.
came out first because they had the little Tamagotchis that people could buy.
Yeah.
So those came out before Pokemon did.
And it's the same concept, like evolving them and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
but
they just like, so what
But I
happened with
low-key-
Digimon is they made it and then they made the anime after the Pokemon anime already took off.
But I low key like how Digimons evolve versus Pokemon.
You look at they can go like back and forth.
Not that back and forth, but I just like when they actually evolve, like the animation,
Digimon.
Oh, girl.
I just like the way they look when they evolve. They look more sturdy, more like
They look more like pals. Like pals. So in the PAL game, they said that there's like over 100 pals that you can collect and catch and whatever. They do have base buildings and PAL battles.
Yes.
But I don't know. Just like how Digimon is different from Pokemon. I think PAL is different enough, even though they did like rip some of the skins and tweak it or whatever. But I don't know.
it's a different concept.
Yeah, you can build off of it. Because like you said, like, Pokemon, not that it was a rip of Digimon, but Digimon came first.
Yeah.
So
What I will say in regards to PAL World, though, in my perspective as being an avid member of the Pokemon community, no one is mad at it, truly.
yeah.
It's more so people are mad at Pokemon because there's been so much controversy within the last couple of years because Pokemon has infamously released games that are really underdeveloped and have glitches or the graphics are just like crappy.
Yeah.
And, this is a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yep.
They can afford to not pump out these games the way that they are and to just take the time to make it look really nice.
I said that to X in a last podcast about that.
Sword and Shield,
They're
right?
always constantly like dropping
Yeah.
so many Pokemon games, and sometimes they don't take the time to actually perfect it. And like, so a lot of these games when they come out, like you said, it has glitches and it has all this stuff, and you're just like, bro.
Yeah, like if you play the most recent one, it's pretty bad.
So my question is like, do you really need this many Pokemon games like every year? Like, is
No.
it needed?
I don't know, man, because then new games or new generations come out, and then new
like you
people
said-
get on Pokemon, in the later generations, and then it's their favorite. Like,
Yeah,
if you-
but that's my question. Like, are you getting the next game because they have newer Pokemons on it?
no, for me, no.
For no?
No, I like it when they go back, to be honest. So, like, how she was saying, like, the Johto might come back again.
Yeah.
I would love that. Like, when Leaf Green, it did. And I didn't play Red and Blue when it originally came out, but I had memories of them. So, when Red or Leaf and Fire Red came out, I was excited because I was like, okay, fine. I finally get to play these games. So, no, I'm not really into new Pokemon. And,
Because I feel like they can just drop a Pokemon game and then just add like DLCs, like newer
Well, that's
Pokemon
kinda like
and
how
like a
they've
newer
been.
story or something like that, or a new gym battle.
The thing is, like, I think that the older generations really used to utilize buffer games. So it's like we talked about before with like Pokemon XD and Coliseum.
Okay.
They would release games in that same generation span that were like to keep the Pokemon fans like at bay.
Yeah.
Where it's like, here's Pokemon Dash. Even though not everyone's going to buy it, you can't say a Pokemon game didn't release, or Pokemon Ranger, or these weird spin-off games.
Oh, the dungeon? Remember that game?
Oh yeah, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah.
They don't really make those anymore. And when they do let other studios make it, like, did y'all play new Pokemon Snap?
No, not the new one.
Girl, she snapped.
Really?
Do you want to know who made it? Bandai.
Well, yeah, they make all of
But
them
girl-
anime games.
Bandai made a Pokemon game. Game Freak let someone else make it.
Oh, right. Okay.
That game's beautiful.
Oh, so you're
It's
saying wasted potential?
beautiful.
They should let
Yes.
more. I mean, have you played Pokken, the fighting game?
Yeah.
That game's good.
Yeah, because they used assets from Tekken.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah. So
That's
like,
what I mean. Like,
just
it's
the-
better.
yeah. So maybe that's why. Yeah, you were saying like the thing about Power World that pissed off fans was that why isn't that a Pokemon game? Like,
yeah,
I
they're
don't
like,
dislike the
Pokemon,
pals,
Take notes.
but they don't hold a candle to real Pokemon.
No, but they basically were like, if this indie company that no one knows out of the blue can come out and make a game utilizing aspects of what the fandom has been begging for years,
Yeah.
like besides the factor of the guns and other shit, just
about to
like
say, yeah.
the aspect of how you play it and what it
Yeah.
looks like.
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta listen.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like Arceus so much is that you could like jump around and throw the balls, and you could even still have a Pokemon battle happening right in front of you, but then it's not like an RPG the way it's been. And I do like the way that is, but come on, like you have to switch it up after a while. I that's why I like Pokken so much, because that's always how I saw the battles in my head was like,
That game's beautiful.
pow, 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 pow.
Yeah.
I do love that game a lot. And then the last thing before we go on to the movies is the TCG. So
love.
It's kind of like, the way I would describe it is kind of like Magic the Gathering. No. How would you describe it?
Like how to play it, or
just like for somebody who, all of my friends, and even, with my cousin, he's into the Pokemon trading card game, but he trades them. He doesn't build a deck of 60, and
because that's what I like. I like collecting them.
So you don't.
I know how to. I know how to play it.
You know how to play it.
I can make a deck. Do I do that avidly? No.
So
why? I don't have friends. But
so what's your Pokemon trading card collection looking like?
Bussin'.
Bust
down, baby. Bust down, Tatiana.
Oh.
I do have a cabinet locked up with Charizard cards.
Just Charizards? Or like,
girl, I need to keep them safe. That's money.
Oh, okay.
That's my retirement fund right there.
These shiny Charizards?
Girl, look up the pricing at some point.
I believe you. They we were talking about it when what is it? One of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards went on sale for like $300,000. But Pokemon cards are coming back as far as like the value.
No, they've been coming back.
Yeah, they came back around COVID.
Yeah,
because Logan Paul got really into it.
Yeah, because he wore one like in a fight.
Yeah,
I know.
It ruined it for people like me that love it for the artwork.
I know. So that's when my cousin got into Pokemon, like right after that. He's like, oh, do you have any Pokemon cards? And I'm like, yeah, you want to play? And I made him a deck or whatever. And he just took out all the cards, and like, I was like, no, we're going to play the game. And he's like, no, I just want, do you have any Charizards? And I'm like,
yeah, that's the thing is, like, I know how to play it the old school way.
Yeah.
Like, did y'all ever play the Pokemon TCG game on the Game Boy Color?
I did, yes.
Ooh. That shit's still good. They just recently put it on the Switch.
Yes, they did.
I love it. I play it all the time.
For the Switch Online, yeah.
So that's like my TCG experience. Like, I like playing that. One player, I could play all by myself, lonesome in my bed. But
you gotta add us on. We're friends, okay? Now,
bro, get me on that Switch.
Okay,
get me on that.
I'll get you on the friend code.
But I absolutely adore that game. But when it comes to like the actual trading card game, I really like the element of socialization that does come with trading cards.
Yeah, because that's what you're supposed to. It's a trading card game.
Yeah, like I don't know if y'all ever did back in the day with Toys R Us. They used to hold trading card nights.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
So I was into the game on the Game Boy, but I never got into it like that.
Oh,
I wish. Like I went to I've been to
fun.
Yu-Gi-Oh regionals, but
okay,
not Pokemon.
One of the more recent conventions I went to was called Collecticon.
Okay.
And the amount of people walking around with these, like, you remember how Seto Kaiba and Yu-Gi-Oh had like that briefcase with all his blue eyes in it?
Yeah.
The way that people were walking around with that with Pokemon cards in it, like real life at this convention, bananas.
My friend puts them in like a DeWalt, like
girl
for something for tools.
Girl, not the DeWalt, not the name brand.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, because they're like just the right size to hold like a good amount of cards. So
yeah, it's honestly like with Pokemon TCG, I'm into it, but I've kind of fallen off recently. I just kind of like buy the cards as I like or when I feel like it, because that used to be like the thing that my fiance and I were like really into was Pokemon cards, especially during COVID when we didn't have jack shit to do.
Yeah.
But he has transformed more into the One Piece TCG because he's a huge One Piece fan.
I try to get my friends to play, but they're not really into it.
He loves it.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with it. One of the cards that we actually pulled is the signed Oda card. That's like $5,000.
Wow.
It's like the gold Oda
From a
card
pack?
for Luffy. One pack. Yeah. Wild. That's a different story.
Very nice.
But he makes decks. He plays a law deck.
Yeah.
He likes going to tournaments and playing it. And that plays more like Magic.
Really? Well, so the reason that I said that it's like Magic, because in Magic, each turn you only play one land unless you have cards that, you play multiple lands. So in the Pokemon trading card game, you attach energies to your Pokemon one at a time. And like, that's the progression. Yeah. Versus like Yu-Gi-Oh, where you can just pop off as much as you can in one turn. So that's where I think it's a little bit more like Magic than Yu-Gi-Oh.
I just have no idea how New Age TCG works, to be honest with you, because there's just like so many things. Like Pokemon every year adds a gimmick.
I know, yeah, the GX and then...
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know how that shit works.
Well, so that's why I'm kind of off Pokemon, because it is like one of the... And it is like that with most trading card games. It's pay to win. Like if you have the best cards, then you have the best deck.
Yeah.
So they do try to keep it like, oh, if you're in this standard or if you're in this, group of cards, then everybody's on the fair playing field, but...
Yeah, and then there are random cards that are worth money. I remember recently, like a Golbat card or a Crobat was worth a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah, and you were like, why is it worth so much money? And it's because it was competitive.
Oh, see? Stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, so I have a bunch of decks, but I don't... Like I have bulk but I don't really have I don't have a Seto Kaiba.
little suitcase.
I don't have a suitcase. What about you? Trading card game at all, or your sons?
No, man.
No, that I
like
into
when
it?
I was younger, I used to collect them, but that's just like, you know, my favorite Pokemon, not like actual playing. Like, so I was more of a Yu-Gi-Oh guy. So
Yeah.
I had my collection.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh
You
cards?
know, I had my little book, I had my little my setup, but for Pokemon, it was just mostly like if I found one of my favorite Pokemons, I would just hold on to that card. But that's about it.
Yeah, I remember I would keep like a Charizard in my wallet.
Yeah,
Keep that
like
thing
something-
on
Keep
you.
the thing on me, you know, just in case.
Just in case you got to pull it out.
I gotta make change, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta flex on him.
Yeah. $3 you said? Oh, it's hard. This is my
That's all I got.
Charizard. That's all I got.
got.
Change for a
Can you break
Charizard? You can't, by the way. You can't break it. So so breakable. So the next the movies. So speaking of trading cards, I remember I went to go see the Pokemon first movie, and they would give out cards.
The Mew card.
The Mew card.
Girl, I have her. I still
do?
have mine.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
I think they came like shrink wrap or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think even for the Yu-Gi-Oh movies, they would come out with cards that you could get. So I mean, what Pokemon the first movie? Do you remember watching it?
Yeah.
As a kid?
Yeah.
What do you think? Looking back on it, when have you seen it last?
Ooh, it's been a while probably because I just don't normally watch the Pokemon anime anymore.
Yeah.
My consumption typically is the games now and the cards. I mean, I liked it. I didn't have that much emotional attachment to the first one as a lot of people did. My memories really come from the fourth movie, Pokemon Forever with Celebi.
Oh yes, that was
With
a theater,
Suicune
too.
in it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Oh
my
God.
judge.
My story for that. So I begged my dad to go watch that movie Forever, and we got there so late, and I was like so lost, and I remember just not having a good time.
Oh, I'm
Looking back,
sorry.
I should have been more appreciative because I did make him take me to go see that damn Pokemon the first movie. I made him take me to go see that movie with Entei, where he was like a dad.
Where he's the dad.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. That shit
That's
was fucking,
the third movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
The second one's the one with Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos with Lugia, Pokemon 2000.
yes. Oh my! I made him take me to go see all those movies, but I did cry for the first movie.
You did?
I did. I remember, and that was like one of the only movies that I've ever cried to like that. Like even at that age, like I saw Lion King where Mufasa dies. Spoiler alert! And
No, I'm not gonna say.
it just didn't get to me like Ash. And it wasn't even when Ash died. It was just watching all those damn Pokemon cry. And I was
Just
like,
boo-hooing.
oh my God. I was like, one, he was stupid as hell for doing that. Like, I don't know why he wasn't even running at either one of them. He was just running in the middle. He's like that girl who's like jumping in her boyfriend's fights and gets fucked up.
Oh my Tokyo Revengers.
And then with Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back it's basically the same movie, but just CGI.
That's the CGI.
Yeah. And it is on Netflix.
Remember what I said earlier about CGI?
Yeah.
Still stands.
Even with that one?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of liked it. The battles, they the battles in that was kind of fire.
I'm gonna let you pop off about that one.
That movie was actually pretty good. It's as good, or let me say, it's as bad as the original because it is just the same movie. But watching it again in CGI, kind of like it's more
Get your
visceral.
Get your boy.
That first movie wasn't good. We'll just say Pokemon, the first movie, in hindsight, and even looking back on it, because I had to rewatch
classic.
it. It's classic, but it's like, they just repeat story beats. Like when they make Mewtwo, they're like, we made you, Mewtwo. You belong to us. He's like, fuck that. I don't belong to you. Boom. He burns the building. Then,
They did make him though.
and then I know.
He's just like an angsty teenager.
yeah. He's like, I didn't ask to be born.
None of us did. Get over it.
Yeah, I know. So then Team Rocket, whatever, captures him and he's like, okay, we'll make you a suit and you'll work with us and you and I will rule the world. And then he's like, all right, I'll do that. So then he gets captured and then they're like, no, you belong to us. And he's like, no, I don't. And he fucking burns that building down.
Yep.
Why do they do it back to back?
Bro, they should have just had him fist fighting Giovanni. That would have been a sick movie.
Yeah. I mean, Giovanni, the crime prince of
Could you
Pokemon.
imagine? He just like takes off his like suit and he's just got like a wife beater on underneath and a gold chain. And he's just like ready to duke it out
With
Mewtwo.
a master ball.
Period.
Yeah, but besides that, it was decent. And then we did want to talk about Detective Pikachu. So how do you?
The only reason I brought that up was because
Tell me.
that's the only movie that keeps popping up in my head when you guys say like Pokemon movies.
Really?
Detective Pikachu. Yeah, I don't
That's
know why
fair.
it just pops up in my head. What do you guys think about it? Did you like the live action of it?
Yeah.
I
And
like
the way the Pokemons looked?
I liked
thought it was cute. Yeah.
There were some Pokemon that looked freaky, but I think that was like on purpose. Like
I think that
I
was
think they would
the
look
Mime.
freaky,
yeah,
Mr.
also,
Mime.
Mr. Mime, even like
He looked creepy as hell in that movie.
Ludicolo.
That looked freaky.
But it's like
Should they make a sequel? Oh, they are?
So
I think so, yeah.
It was confirmed. It was confirmed before the first movie even released that they were making a sequel back in 2019 in the movie came out later that year.
And I mean, they just came out with the second game
Yes,
this
they
past
did.
year on the Switch. So,
Yeah. So
which was not good.
no.
No.
What about the first game?
Playable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like you were saying earlier, like I do appreciate the attempt because I just
Yeah.
love Pokemon, and whatever they do with it, I will give it a chance.
Yeah.
Remember, I used to shit on it too much for.
But how good is it going to be when you have a game of coffee sipping Pikachu? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's just
it's not going to hit like it used to.
It's the archetype. It's just like it depends on what you do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So Pokemon, and I'll even get into it now. They are trying to not move away from just battles, but they want to expand into like Pokemon as the aesthetic, or Pokemon. They want to show their more peaceful side.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to be just straight like dog fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Like they want to be, Pokemon can chill. Pokemon can sit at the table. We were even talking about that. What do you have to say about it?
Oh no, I was watching a video and me and X had talked about this about how there was a theory saying that back in the old days, people can marry their Pokemon.
Yeah.
In the Pokemon world, and it had popped up in a game as a dialogue, but then they later changed it to saying instead of marrying them, that back in the old days, Pokemons can sit in the dining room table with the humans, like eat with them.
Yeah. Like break bread amongst your Pokemon.
Y'all ever seen that one show, that TLC show where like that man married his car?
Yeah, like stuff like that.
That's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? Like, girl, how you go? No, couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
Yeah, I couldn't marry a Pokemon either.
I don't know, maybe if you have that fetish.
Side eye.
I don't even want the meeting at the table, to be honest. I've seen where your hands have been. You need to wash your hands after that fire punch. You're not gonna burn down my fucking dining room table.
So I thought that was like weird.
Yeah.
Like, well, hey.
Well, because we did talk about in our filler episode, Ash's dad might be. There's a theory that it might be Professor Oak, but then another theory is that it's Mr. Mime.
No. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You don't
Mr.
co-sign?
Mime, he's
I don't
always
co-sign.
around. He's always cleaning up. He's always
he's
helping
I don't
landing-
co-sign.
He's always
He's
at the
always
house.
giving a landing hand.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
He don't say much. So.
Bro, it's none of my business
Keeps
what they
secret.
do
Uh-huh.
behind closed doors.
Right.
However,
They're two consensual adult Pokemon and humans.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Mr. Mime is breaking down barriers out here.
Girl, he's supposed to be setting them up.
He sets them up and then he breaks it down.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Break.
He
Can I get
breaks,
your number?
he breaks down every single wall.
Girl, I'm sure
Ash
he
Moms
does.
has no walls.
911, what's your emergency?
Officer Jenny.
Mine is good, right? No, stop. All right.
All right, so there is a Pokemon. It's not really like, I wouldn't describe it as a live action, but it is. I mean, it's live action, but there's no live action Pokemon in it.
What is it, like a J drama?
It is a J drama.
Okay.
I haven't seen it dubbed or even like subtitled. Like when I was watching it, I was trying to like fucking catch on, but then I had to like read the Bulbapedia about it. It's called POKETSU. Pack Your Pocket with Adventure. It recently came out in October of 2023, and it's basically this girl who wants to be a creator. So she moves from her town, which is a port town in the Kanto region, actually in Japan, to Tokyo. So Tokyo is like Japan's equivalent of New York. Like if you want to go to the big city, you go to Tokyo. I don't know. It looks fun enough, but basically like she moves to the city. She gets mailed a Game Boy with Pokemon Red on it. And then she just like goes through her day. It's like almost like slice of life, but she just intersperses it with Pokemon. So she's playing Pokemon, and not as she levels up in real life, but some of her, like she'll do a battle or she'll overcome like a certain situation in the game and it'll relate to her, day to day.
Okay.
So it's only 10 episodes and it is like the start of Pokemon showcasing their more peaceful side.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's not something you guys would be interested in.
No.
But I mean, you don't want to see this girl, live out her dream of being a creator.
I mean,
They can't just slap Pokemon in anything and you'll eat it.
no. No, I do have my limitations as
okay.
I've gotten older. If I was a kid, I'll probably be like, num, 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 feed me more. But girl,
Right.
I'm old now. I can't be watching that.
There's another video I want to show you, the last video, and it's an anime that came out. It's not really anime, but it is, it's just animated. So in the video version, we'll play the clip. I don't know, they did this anime to celebrate the Lunar New Year. So what'd you think about it?
I thought that was adorable.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love when Pokemon does those little things, like those little, once a year they usually do them, like those little 2-minute videos.
Yeah.
That are just like, it's really cute. It just shows like the art styles of different artists and like all these different Pokemon and like real life situations. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, Pokemon in your day to day. So I know we did our team of 6, but if you had to pick just one, because it looks like in the video, everybody just had the one Pokemon. So what's your one companion, emotional Pokemon?
Gumi.
That's your
period.
That's your ride or die.
Absolutely.
That's your co-pilot.
Bro, he's really dumb.
Okay. What about you?
Would that just make your day better? Like having
Yeah, he's like my cat. Both of my cats are just like really stupid, but they're really smart. But like you look at them and then I'm like, hi Tingle. And she's like, and I'm like, oh, something's wrong with you. And that's how I feel about Gumi.
What about you, Lewis? If you had to have your one companion in this peaceful world because they do have Pokemon battles, but
if I had one companion, it would probably be Squirtle.
Squirtle?
Yeah.
Nice.
It sounds like it has like a chill vibe. Like
like a chill turtle.
Yeah.
Like the turtle from
Plus, I
Finding
like
Nemo.
turtles. Like I probably have mine like the turtle from the Ninja Mutant Turtle.
You would teach him kung fu and karate. Which weapon would you give him? All four?
All four, man. Ronin.
Ronin, damn.
Just give him a butter knife. He's like, look, he's a samurai. And he's just
like he's putting butter on my bread.
stop. You give him a switchblade. He's doing tricks.
Yeah, you could. Well, like,
Hey.
what's that movie like in Kick-Ass?
Bro, he's got a butterfly knife. He's
Yeah, that's what it is. So if I had to, it would be Jolteon. Jolteon is my ride or die.
Word.
That's
I see
my,
that.
That's my house pet. And Detective Pikachu also has a similar feel where the world I know in the movie, it was like it was almost like a Zootopia of Pokemon. Like they're not citizens, but they live, just amongst humans.
Co-side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to get into. And then I did watch a couple of the episodes for the new stuff. So Pokemon Horizons is coming out on Netflix February 22nd, the week that this episode comes out, which is why we're even talking about it. It did look pretty cool. They do have some battles. It is stepping away from, this person just wants to be the greatest master in the whole world and wants to go beat the frontier or, get their trophy or whatever. She is, basically the plot is, and I know it's coming out, but, this is no spoilers. Her name is Liko and she lives in Paldea.
It's the newest region.
Yeah, so she comes from there. She is going to school, or she was shipped to school in the Kanto region. The show itself has a mix of generations of Pokemon. So even though she's in Kanto, there's like other Pokemon there so her first Pokemon that she gets is like the cat, like the green cat. Sprigatito. So, and then she has to, it's almost like Ash where they have to like learn to like each other, but it happens fairly quickly. How do you guys feel about the new show that's coming out?
So I saw the trailer or the video that you sent me.
Yeah, they did like a sneak peek.
It looks okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't get my engines going. It looks all right. I don't know if I would see it, being honest. Like, even when it comes out on Netflix.
Really? What about you? How are you feeling about it?
The first controversy is that they retired Ash.
I'm not too hung up on Ash's retirement. What I am sad about is Team Rocket.
I understand.
So I like Meowth. I like their
the dynamic.
Yeah.
All three of them.
I just love those three are my favorites. So Ash is whatever. I kind of like thumbs down on Ash recently, ever since he went to the Alolan. So my last time not liking Ash, but I think me and my brother talked about it. He should have won when he had Greninja. Like that whole arc, he should have won. Like I know he has to lose and he can't win all the time, but his first W shouldn't have been in that Alolan region. It should have been him and Greninja.
Yeah.
Like even Greninja had its own evolution tailored to Ash. There's no reason he should have lost. And he had a fire team too. But
he did have a good team that gen.
So I don't know why. I think he had Gengar. He had such a fucking fire team. So I don't know.
With this new anime, like I'm just like indifferent because it's not geared for me. It's meant for the new generation of kids that are going to be getting into Pokemon.
It is.
So it's like for me, I'm like, that's cool because it's not something I'm supposed to be watching.
Right.
Those kids are supposed to have the same experience that we had when we got the opportunity to watch it in the early 2000s. That's how I view it.
That's your opinion about it?
Yeah.
I mean, we did say earlier that Pokemon is of all ages, but
but particularly like in the anime, like it's they write it more for the younger audience. You know, even if it's for all ages, like no judgment.
Right.
But it's just like, it's not what I'm wanting to watch anymore. But the new gen of kids are gonna watch it and they're gonna eat it up.
Well, because they released recently like Pokemon Concierge.
That shit was awesome.
Oh, you liked it?
I loved it.
Okay, what do you mean? That's geared towards a demographic.
No, because it talks about like mental health problems. There's a lot of. Have you watched it?
I have. Where she's stressed out because her boyfriend broke up with her after 7 years and she lost her job.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit different because it's for all ages, but some of the topics that they cover are a lot deeper.
Yeah.
Like where it's like if you really like deep dive into it and what the meaning is for each episode, I think it's a lot more than just, it's Pokemon, it's cute and fun.
Yeah, like
it's
furry or whatever. Like
there's literally a Pikachu with social anxiety.
Yeah.
That's just like literally just having panic attacks about speaking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, if that ain't me.
they I won't spoil it because if like Snail says, if you do.
Oh, sorry, spoiler alert.
No. Obviously not, but they work through it and they work through all their stuff. But it does have like it's not even like Robot Chicken. It's not stop motion, or is it stop motion?
It is like stop motion claymation.
It's like stop motion claymation, and everyone looks like they're made of yarn, and it is very, very cute, but there is no real battling, and it is real brief, and it is about this hotel that she works at. It's more of a personal story with her and her side duck that she's like learning to live with. But have you seen it at all, or?
I haven't seen that one.
I don't know. It's like 4 episodes.
Yeah, real simple, real clean.
16 to 20 minutes per episode, and it is like real breezy. So sequel. You want a sequel out of that?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought it was very fun for all ages.
Okay, but fair enough. All right, and then just that. So I mean, there's way more. We didn't talk too much about like Ash and his journey. Anything else you want to add about Pokemon?
Oh, Pokemon you guys seem really interesting. So there's a lot that I need to get into to like really comprehend, because there was stuff you guys were talking about that I was like, I don't think I've ever heard of that. Or
Pokemon just has so much, man. There's so
it's been around forever.
Yeah, and there's stuff that we talked about that I didn't prepare for, but I just, I have been in this fight since I was 6 years old. So
I will tell you one thing controversial about me.
Yeah.
I've been sitting here with you guys talking about Pokemon this whole time. I have to expose myself. I'm a Digimon fan more than anything.
Really?
I like Digimon way more.
Oh, we might have you come back for the Digimon episode.
I could have backed up with Digimon. Like I could actually sit and watch Digimon. I just like how they look and the way they evolve and the fighting scenes. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it's more eye pleasing to me than Pokemon.
Really?
I am way more dedicated to Digimon and like a diehard Digimon stan than I am Pokemon. But Pokemon's just more like readily available.
Yeah. I mean, we'll save it for the Digimon episode, but damn, I wouldn't have.
I just had to throw that wrench in there for you. Just like, hey, by the way.
At the end of the call.
Absolutely.
Well, that was the meat and potatoes for Pokemon, man.
That was the meat and potatoes for Pokemon. So come back for our Digimon episode. We might revisit Pokemon, get a little bit more like focused on like a certain era or a certain movie, but just overall, definitely highly recommended. Maybe not all that they have to offer. Definitely, I would even like just give it a chance, because I gave that Concierge a chance, and I didn't think that I was gonna like it as much as I did. It is just very different, and I do like the direction that Pokemon's trying to go with this whole Pokemon Horizons, and I think it's worth checking out because they do have like some cool stuff in it.
They're trying.
There's like a Charizard, which I was watching, and it's only in Japanese right now until it comes out on Netflix. Charizard's name in Japanese is Lizardon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like, "What's up, Lizardon?" And I was like, "Damn, that is kind of like a cool name."
Yeah. Do you know what Umbreon's name is in Japanese?
What is it?
Blackie.
Blackie?
It's Blackie.
Really? Oh man.
That's the only one I know is Blackie.
So I remember we were talking about in our sub and dub episode about like the songs, like about how Pokemon, the names are like a play on words in English, but I wonder if they did the same in Japanese.
I have no idea, honestly.
I think so, because Lizardon is like, lizard and dragon, like Lizardon.
Blackie is black.
Right. So I wonder, like, what are the names? And, we might even get into it with the next episode, but I don't know. Definitely looking forward to Pokemon Horizons. I definitely will check it out. And then I'll let you guys know on the podcast how it was in the next segment that we do, which is...
Well, we're reading, watching, and playing. So let's start with you, X. What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you playing?
I'm reading this manga one-shot called Look Back. They're coming out with the movie, and I was going to put this in the news segment, but I knew this was going to be a heavy episode, so I wanted to save it for the end. It's on the Shonen Jump Plus app, and I'm reading it. It's like fucking 140 pages, so I'm just getting through it, and it's pretty good so far, but I don't know, I really haven't got fully into it yet. And I am reading this this comic book called Daredevil Black Armor. It was suggested to me by a friend. He's watching it. It's pretty early, and Daredevil, out of all the comics, and I was off of comics for a while, but Daredevil is one of the ones that has pretty good comics consistently. So that's just what I've been reading. And the same shit, Doctor Stone, One Piece, fucking Chainsaw Man. Oh, Wild Strawberry, man. Wild Strawberry is still going pretty strong for me. I'm looking forward to if they do make it an anime, but I don't know, just try to read a bunch of different stuff, man. And then I'm watching Fire Force because I'm trying to catch up.
Oh, how are you liking it?
I like it pretty good so far. Even, have you seen Fire Force? So in the beginning, there's like this fucking fire or whatever, and then this guy gets he's like in the middle of it, and then the fire force comes up, and then they're, firefighters, and then they have like a priest. So I'm like, all right, it's kind of anime. I don't know why they had this priest, but I'm sure she has like magical powers. So I like how from the jump it's already starting off with like conspiracy, and this world is not what you think of it. Like you think that we're saving these people, we're actually killing them. So I don't know. I'm liking it so far, and it was one of those animes that were recommended to me, back when I was like falling off of anime. But I don't know. Now that I'm back into it, I'm just back into like watching anime that all it has to offer, and this is a really, really good one.
Well, they're not really killing them. They're like ending their torture.
They're ending their torture, yeah. But there's like, I mean, in the first couple episodes, everybody has like their weapon or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, put the weapon away." He's like, "Man, it's my fucking weapon. What do you mean?" He's like, "No, this is somebody's dad. Like, they don't need to know that you're gonna slice him in half, or that you're gonna kill him, right?" Like that, and that's why they have the priest there, because not to cover it up, but to make it look like they are doing a mercy killing, and they kind of are, but they're doing it with a sick, cool move.
Yeah.
So that's why they have to have a little bit of compassion. But I just like, I don't know, I like it so far. And I was kind of like, and we talked about in the Mash Show episode.
If you keep watching though, it gets in depth, because it's like you said, it's not what it seems at first. Until they actually start talking about like the church and what it was really meant to be, and like how it was built, and who started that organization, and like what the organization really means. It's not, like you said, it's not what it seems to be right at the bat.
And I only just started, but I am going to be looking forward to season 3, because we are going to do an episode on that. It's just one of those animes that I'm glad I'm watching right now. And then for playing, same shit, but a new game that I've been playing is Onitama. Have you ever played that? Have you ever heard of Onitama?
No, actually.
It's a board game. It's kind of like chess, but it's with kung fu characters.
Okay.
So all the moves are out on the field for everybody to see. And then
Wait, did we play that before?
We might have played it before.
I think
we do like rabbit style. Then the purpose of the game, because you have 4 disciples or whatever, and then 1 dojo master. So the goal of the game is to either kill your opponent's dojo master or get your sensei in the dojo. So I don't know. My girl has been just like kicking my ass at that game. So I've been playing a lot lately. So I bought the expansion, and now, because we just go through the cards like real quick. So it used to be just whoever gets the tiger style wins. But now there's more cards where it's anybody's game. But she's still kicking my ass at that game. But I like losing to her with it, because she's just like super, super nice with it. And I just like the whole thing of playing the game. We should play maybe before you go, but rabbit style, and you go, you're supposed to like set up your opponent's move out of respect. It's just such a good game. But that's what I've been playing. So what about you, Snail? What you reading? What you watching? What you playing?
So the manga that I have been keeping up with the most is Heavenly Delusion.
Heavenly Delusion.
Yeah. Y'all know about that one? The anime actually came out for just last year. So if you're more of a watcher than a reader, you can totally watch it. The reason it was like a sleeper hit is because the anime only came out on Hulu and Disney Plus.
They did that with another one, Ishura.
Sure. I try to watch that one, man.
It's pretty straight. No, we'll do an episode and we'll save it. But
you seen it?
No.
Oh,
it's just your reaction. You're like,
I know, because we talked about it like way long time ago. We try to be up on what's going on. They've released exclusively on Hulu and Disney Plus.
Same with Tokyo Revengers season 2. That was only on Hulu. Season 1 was Crunchyroll. Season 2 was Hulu for some reason.
So tell me about this one that you're reading though.
So I would definitely recommend it if you are into like things that are post-apocalyptic. It's I can't really discuss the plot line too much without like spoiling anything.
We'll just but it's like episode 1 stuff.
It's like a post-apocalyptic, like you see these kids that are in like what looks to be like this like asylum type of thing. And you're kind of like, oh, that's weird. Like, why do these kids all have like the same outfits on? And then it cuts to this other part of the story where it's like post-apocalyptic, and there are these kids, a boy and a girl, and they're fighting these creatures, and they're just trying to like find, this girl has like lost her memory. So she's trying to like find people from her past and like piece together everything. That's like the most I can tell you without spoiling it, because there's like 2 different plot lines going on of like these kids in this random place, and then these adults out in the world where it's like these crazy like Zelda Twilight Princess looking ass monsters are like trying to kill them, and you can only like, you can't kill them, like they're like impossible. So definitely look it up.
That's what I was gonna ask if it had action.
Oh, it
sounds
has.
Like it does.
It has the action.
Yeah. Okay.
But I started watching it when it came out. I watched the anime, and I got like 3 episodes in, and I was just enticed. So then I started reading it. So the manga is still ongoing. That's
how I was with Solo Leveling. I watched like the first couple episodes, and just because it was so good, I'm like, I just have to read the manga. Just like,
yeah.
And then I got into that. So that's actually a really good anime. which we'll do an episode about it once Xavier decides to hop on.
Ooh, I think when it ends the first season, that's when we'll do it.
Yeah. That's what you were waiting for.
Yeah.
Because he's more of a visual watcher.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I always tell them there's like 3 certain people. There's the people that read the manga, so they're always ahead of everybody. Mm-hmm. There's people that watch the anime, which are considered the spoilers. Like, oh, don't spoil it. But you're like, if you read it, you're ahead of the game.
I read manga, bro.
People, the dub people that wait for it to get dubbed in order to like watch. Yeah.
Don't throw shade, bro. I read the manga, bro. Lewis just loves spoilers, bro. He lets somebody read the manga and spoil it to him.
My boy just want to read. Leave him alone.
Right, thank you.
Oh my goodness gracious. Go ahead. So what are you playing and watching?
Watching. See, I'm the type where I keep up with like anime seasons.
Okay.
So right now it's like just keeping up with like the standard Mashal, of course, keeping up with Solo Leveling, Shangri-La Frontier, if y'all have seen that one, keeping up with her, Apothecary Diaries, just like a lot of like the animes that I haven't gone out of my way recently to like binge an old school anime. Yeah. I usually only do that if there's not something that I want to watch consistently. But this anime season has been pretty good. And last anime season too, I mean, we had Dr. Stone and all these other things that just finished, Jujutsu Kaisen that just wrapped up. So that's more like what I watch is I just watch like concurrent animes, like what's going on week to week, gives me something to do. Yeah. And playing Persona 3 Reload came out. Let's talk about her. Persona 3 Reload, Atlas. Persona 3 is my favorite game.
Yeah. Wow.
Period. So when I saw that they were remaking it, I remember the day like it was yesterday. The trailer dropped for it. I was in a parking lot of a movie theater and a bunch of my friends were going to go see Into the Spider-Verse. Mm-hmm. And I remember I sat there and I'm just just crying, looking at this trailer because it's my favorite game getting announced for a remake. And everyone's like, what are you doing? Why?
We can watch another movie.
They're like, we're about to go watch Spider-Man. I'm like, y'all go out without me. I'm like, I don't know what I went through with this game. And that game is like everything to me. It's my favorite game. So playing the remake of it in its entirety is just soothing to childhood Alexis.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. All right. So what about you, Kid Lewis? What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you playing?
So reading Solo Leveling, still reading that. And then I'm trying to finish up a manga that I picked up a long time ago, Attack on Titan Before the Fall. I don't know if you guys heard of that.
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
When we first started the podcast, that's what you were reading.
I was reading that, but then I stopped reading it. But I decided to finally like, you know what, let me just finish it off.
Okay.
Because if they do make that into animation, then I could spoil everything because I'm a fucking manga reader.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Bro.
So that's what I've been reading, and then playing not much lately. Actually, not much. I just haven't had time to sit down and play. And watching, I don't know if you guys have seen the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith on Amazon Prime.
No,
my boy
Donald Glover.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've been watching that show. It's pretty good. I like it.
The girl is a friend of mine. She told me it's the girl from Pen 15.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good, man. I like it.
Oh, okay.
I like Donald Glover. I like most of the shit that he does.
I do too. Atlanta.
I love Atlanta. I remember I got really, really sad when that show ended. So that's how I get when shows end, which is why I kind of not binge, but I'll wait for something and then watch it because I also hate waiting for new episodes.
It's like a breakup.
Yes, it's just that I'm not going to see these characters anymore. It's like your friends moving away.
Yeah, very that.
That shit was so. I finished Blue Lock, so it was like that for me with Blue Lock, and I did feel okay with it. I didn't feel like really, really sad. I was like.
That's one thing I love with Blue Lock because Blue Lock like really emphasizes on a certain character, and then if they don't make it to the next match, you're like, wait, but that was my favorite character.
Yeah,
but he didn't make it.
Yeah, the power hitter.
Yeah, like, man. Fuck. I thought he was gonna be the one.
Something that I will say that I was watching, Rick and Morty, because they put that on Hulu. Because remember we were talking about in the Ghibli episode, it's not anywhere. She said Paramount.
She said it was a Paramount.
I don't think it is Paramount though. I think she had it wrong.
So it was Hulu?
It's somewhere else. Now it's on Hulu.
Oh.
Girl, they switch them like every month.
Yeah.
It's like they buy out the contract or something to be able to
pass it around. Yeah. Same thing with like I think South Park has.
Yeah, they did that with South Park. I was about to say. Yeah.
But no, man, Rick and Morty, the newest season, I'm only 3 episodes in. That shit is fucking fire, bro.
Like it?
I liked it. I like it.
Is it over?
The season, yeah.
Because I remember watching a recap on like last season, like basically like what it entitled.
Yeah.
Which is like,
no, man, it's so good. It's back on form. And I hate to say that with them canceling this one guy. I mean, a good show is a good show. Like it's fucking fire. It's like
I feel
it's
like
back
it
to that
lost
level.
me Because remember
They
we
did.
talked about it, like how
Yeah.
it was like really good, like the first and second season, but then somehow we got lost.
Yeah, from season 5 and 6, they kind of like fell down. It wasn't bad, but it just like fell really, really low. And you know, you just have that when the show's really, really good.
When
You
the
ex-
writers lose the passion, but they are
you can
riding
tell.
the popularity to make that paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell that that's what it was. But then no, this new shit is back on form. It's all very character based and it is super sci-fi and I'm loving it.
I'll probably watch it then.
Yeah, I recommend it. And it's it's on Hulu now. So
I don't have to like go on these weird websites
bro,
or platforms to find it.
yes, man, just
Paramount.
make it available to me. Like that's another thing for me. So I know we're big in, why pay for something that's you could just get online for free. Like I paid $2 for the Shonen Jump app, even though all those manga I can just read online. But I just love the convenience. Like I just make it available and I will pay to watch it.
And there is something comforting about being able to go to an airport and you don't have to worry about the porn ads popping up on your phone when you're reading it off of some sketch
Hey,
website.
I don't mind it being on.
Right. I hate all this anime, all this anime ads, and when I watch my porn,
Hentai keeps popping up like, back to what I was watching. Like, distracting me.
Right.
Is there anything, Mrs. Snail, you would like to let people know? Anything you got going on?
No.
Like your Twitch account? You want to shout that out?
Truly, I'm such a boring person. You can find me on all social media platforms at AlexisTheSnail. That's ALEXIS, not Alexa. She is Miss Alexis the Snail. I stream on Twitch every once in a while. The main days that I like to stream is we do Thought Thursday around here.
Okay. Oh yeah, you were telling us.
Talked,
Yep,
Go
Thought
ahead.
Thursday, good old Thought Thursday. That's when we come on and I will delicately read people's thought stories, just ever so gracefully. As
you
well
have the
as-
voice for it too.
Oh, it's just very. I will never forget. There was one time, real quick, that I was streaming and I was playing SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom,
Okay.
and someone was like down bad, like talking about getting like fucked on train tracks or something crazy, right? And I was like, "Yeah, what happened?" And then someone comes in and they're like, "Hi, I'm a dev from the creators of SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. What do you think about the game?" And I'm like, evade, leave, everyone hop out the chat. We can't talk about being down bad anymore. I'm like, your game's wonderful, I love SpongeBob. And I'm like, escape. But I also post pretty often to Instagram every once in a while. I am a video game collector. That is one of my prides in life.
Yeah.
So if you're interested at all in my video game collection, you can always see that on Instagram.
You do have a pretty good video game collection. I checked it out.
Thank you. As well as please support my eBay shop. I do every once in a while get the chance to sell parts of my collection if I am parting with it, like some of my Funkos, Pokemon cards, things of that nature, and sometimes games. So all that can be found in my bio on my Instagram under my link tree.
Okay. There you go.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you again, you guys, for listening, and thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, and don't forget to hit the little bell button so that you guys are aware when we drop a new episode on YouTube. And just a friendly reminder that on Apple Podcast, you can definitely drop a review. We have a couple of reviews that people have said about our podcast, and Xavier's going to read them out.
All right, so here we go. So we got Olive Oil, spelled not how you think. Says hooked. Newcomer, the host's chemistry is on point, creating a fantastic flow of banter that keeps you listening with diverse topics and a welcoming vibe. Mixed with perspectives, opinions, and funny, feels informative and entertaining at the same time. P.S. The audio quality is crisp. Haha. So thank you, Olive Oil, for that.
Not the way it's spelled, but
Not the way
thank
it's
you.
spelled. Well, it'll be up here in the video version, but. And then Anna the Boss 1 says, new to anime. Love this podcast. I'm new to anime, and the way they explain things makes it simple. Love hearing the joy of them talking about their subjects, and they talk about other stuff besides anime, which is great. Keep up the great work.
Appreciate it.
So thank you, Anna the Boss. And the last one I have here is first anime podcast, really. A lot of these people are probably from when we went to that Comic-Con. We passed out our cards, and that shit was so fun. That's where we actually connected with Snail.
Yeah, they dug me out of a corner.
Yeah.
They found me like panhandling in the corner. They're like, you.
So the Queen 70 says, I've been looking for an anime podcast, and this is the best one. These guys are funny, and they make the podcast feel like we're all friends. Definitely worth the listen.
There you go.
So thank you, Queen 70.
And that's really it about our podcast. Like, we want everybody to feel like we're a family. We're just friends. We're just vibing, having a good time.
I had a grand old time. I want to say thank you guys for letting me come on here.
Oh, thank you for coming on to our podcast. So it's well appreciated that you drove all the way out here to hang out with us.
Yeah, it was just a hop skip.
Well, that too. Like, we were asking people, like, I hope you guys don't live too far. Like, just come on over. Come to the couch. Chill. Let's talk about anime, Pokemon, and anything in between.
Yes, no, we'll definitely be having you come back for the Digimon episode, and
I love to see it.
I'll do my research, so I'm gonna have a bunch of stuff for you too.
Girl, I'll be ready.
And we might visit Pokemon again, so depending on
for a part 2. But this time I'll definitely watch more, so that way I'm on top of exactly what you guys are saying. I look confused. They're probably gonna assume into my face like, he looks mad confused.
I told you exactly what we were gonna talk about, bro.
And I did watch it, but still, man, I was like, wait, is this something? I was like, you know what? Let me just lay back and just nod my head. Yeah, I've seen that, I think. Yeah. But anyways, like I said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's always a pleasure to do these podcasts and definitely have a guest. It's always a blast when we have a guest. It's more informative, more different people putting their opinion in, which is great. And like we say at the end of every episode,
tune in next time for scenes from the next episode of the Hyperbolic Podcast.
And we're out. Deuces.
Period.